I didn't even know if I should do the states videos again this year. I know they were pretty successful last year, but I don't know if there was really a need to do them again. But with College Football 26, the transfer portal being a bigger factor, and just the fact that, the last year's videos weren't nearly as quality as the ones that I can make now, I thought, why not do it again? If you guys really do enjoy it and want to continue to see it, then yeah, we can run it all back again this season, and maybe the results will be even better. So we're doing California this time around. Last year I started with Florida. How about starting with California this time? And I'll have even more stats and info to track at the end of the video to even separate these teams further and really get a decision on who the best of the state is. As we start off USC UCLA, I think it's a pretty predictable year one conference championship. If you don't know how these videos go, we get 15 years, we spectate the conference championships, any playoffs that they end up having, we follow their playoff runs, and at the end of the 15 years, we determine who the number one team in the state was based on wins, losses, bowl games, playoffs, awards, recruiting, draft selections, every single thing you can think of. We're going to try to determine who the number one team in the state of California is, and 15 years should be enough to do that, as USC is going to be on the verge of a playoff appearance with a win here. If they lose this game, though, I don't think anybody's going to the playoffs, as Nico Iamaleava is delivering for a first down, transferring over from Tennessee. Can he lead UCLA to a 13-point comeback? He's throwing the football deep, one-on-one, it's caught, touchdown, UCLA! And Nico delivers, and now you turn it over to Maeva and the USC offense to see what they can do, as he's going to reach ahead 10 yards, not quite the first down, second and inches, handing it off, and that's an unnecessary and dangerous reach, but Jordan gets the first down. Third down and 8, though, jumping ahead as we show the highlights of this one, key situations, third downs, any of the important and clutch plays that you need to see is they're going to be set up. Third down and 5 from about midfield. It's going to be a throw to Makai Lemon, as, of all the wide receivers this year in college football, Makai Lemon might be my favorite one coming out from the NFL this year if he has a big breakout season. So I'd say keep an eye on him for, real life football, as they're going to hand it off right into the red zone. USC goes, and they're going to get to the 13-yard line. Maeva to the air, outside, caught, and it's going to be a gain of 9, 2:20 to play, sweeping it out, and they're going to get tackled for a loss of 4. USC, though, regardless, could still get a 2-score lead. They just got to hit this field goal. They're not going to get the third down. Fourth down try, field goal on its way, kick is good. 2-score lead, just too much to overcome with no timeouts for UCLA, as USC takes home the first conference championship. They are the odds-on favorites to win this video, but it gets even better for the Trojans. Jaden Maeva, Heisman winner, and Makai Lemon with over 100 grabs, 14 touchdowns, wins the Biletnikoff. They get that 12 seed in the playoffs, and they'll be taking on Oregon. And how fitting is it that we get to play Oregon, because last year Oregon was basically the algorithm in this game. College Football 25, I will remember it for the amount of times that Oregon dashed the hopes and dreams of every team that we had in the playoffs. But will it be the same this year, as the handoff right through the middle, and he's getting inside the 10-yard line. USC up by 7, but Oregon ready to try to tie this game up. He's getting down to the 1-yard line with a 6-yard gain. Third down and goal. Makai Hughes in the game, and he stopped at the 1. Oregon, they're going for it on 4th and goal from the 1. Hughes, touchdown. And Makai Hughes, the Tulane transfer, gets into the end zone. And now it's up to this duo of Lemon and Maeva to get this USC team down the field. And there is Lemon with a catch and run. 5th grab for Lemon, as Maeva over the middle. Diving grab for Makai Lemon again. Now they fake out the toss. Run left into a sack. And that's going to back them up. Second down and 14. He's got a clean pocket. A lot of time, but no one's getting open. And eventually pressure gets in. Third down and 19. They run the football. And maybe that wouldn't have been a bad idea if you didn't lose so many yards and you maybe needed a couple to get into field goal range. But them losing yards makes them punt it. So that promising drive ends in nothing. But Oregon on the flip side. Third down and 2. Pass is a little behind, and it's going to be incomplete. Fourth down, they punt it, and now it's up to Maeva to lead this game-winning drive. Under 2 to play from the 45, underneath, that's caught. First down into Oregon territory, as they need maybe 10 yards to get into field goal range. Maeva, underneath, caught, and it is going to get them about 7, so they're really on the fringe now. Swing it outside, one move, gets the first down, and you're in field goal range. It's 50 yards from here, but you want to get even closer, and the tight end makes a move, and I think USC just a couple of plays away from making this happen as Maeva has the first down. Oregon's out of timeouts, and they're going to get themselves as close as possible, run it down, and with under 40 seconds to play, one more run for good measure will set up the field goal try. Clock ticking down for the win. USC is moving on, and Oregon goes down. So USC really coming out with a commanding lead in this first season. Heisman winner, best wide receiver, playoff victory, conference championship, and now taking on Miami in the second round at 22-17. So we will see what Carson Beck and Miami has to offer as the catch and run's going to get them a first down. 9 minutes to play. Beck on top. Can he extend his lead? Field goal would still keep it a one-score game, but that touchdown could be too much to overcome. Carson Beck, no surprise, it's a big game, and he hasn't had a good one. No touchdowns and an interception on the day, but he delivers the catch and run there. Just let his receivers do the work, because I know Carson Beck, if he puts the ball, if you put too much trust in him, as he showed at Georgia, he's not going to do a good job, as he's going to run for just a single yard. Set up fourth down. Field goal try from 47 is good. So the field goal was at least acquired for this Hurricane offense, and now you turn it over to the Heisman winner, who needs to get 8 points on the board. Third down threatens this offense, and Maeva's going to just check it down underneath. He'll get 4, but they'll punt the football away and trust their defense as Carson Beck right down the middle, incomplete. 3 and out for the USC Trojans. So now give it back to Maeva and see what he's got. Look at the broken tackle on the bubble screen. That's huge. Get the first down. And now the 42-yard line. 5 minutes to go. And the tight end, wide open catch and run, is going inside the 30-yard line to the 24. Now in the red zone goes Maeva. Underneath. Got it to third down and 1. Big conversion here for the offense. Handing it off. They got it. And now to the 12-yard line with 3 minutes to play. They're going to keep it on the ground. He finds a lane. Spin move down to about the 2, third and inches, as they got to keep it on the ground. Maeva, he's going to pull it. He's got the touchdown of the Heisman winner now with the 2-point conversion for the tie. They go to the ground. He's short. That was a situation where you needed to reach out for it, and I think it's a little curious. You took the ball out of the Heisman winner's hands, and now Miami with a 3rd and 11. Luckily for them, USC's defense is going to do their job, and Miami now, they're going to have to rely on their defense to stop them, but not with Makai Lemons in one-on-one coverage and into field goal range already. Could be a repeat of this Oregon game from the previous round, where Miami, they're out of timeouts. Yeah, they'll get a sack. They'll make the field goal a little bit harder, I suppose, but it's still pretty close. And even though, again, Maeva will lose yards, they'll set things up. Field goal on its way. Kick is good. And back-to-back game-winning field goals, unless Carson Beck has an 81-yard touchdown in him. He doesn't. Game over. USC, that's about as good of a first year as you could ask for right now. They're on to the Final Four, and they have got 2 game winners under their belt. They're taking on Clemson, but Cade Klubnik is banged up. He got hurt in this game, so Vizinia's in. He's got the offense rolling right now, and they're up 21-10 with the football. So Clemson, they're the #1 team in the country for a reason, and they are moving the football down the field at the 38-yard line. Now taking a shot down the middle. It's caught, and into field goal range, into the red zone, into scoring position. If you get a touchdown here, I think it might be all over. USC, though, would still have a chance if they hold to a field goal. They have their chance here. 3rd and 11. Sending the extra man in. He's going to run left, and he got hit, but he got that football away. So the field goal try will keep it a 2-score game and leave the Heisman winning Maeva up there with just a 5.5-minute clock and a 2-score deficit. It's not looking good right now for USC, but they've been able to pull it off the previous 2 rounds. Right now, it's not happening, though. 4th down and 4, threatening to go 4 and out. They're going to chuck one deep. One-on-one coverage. It's knocked away. Clemson has the football, and this could be all over for the Trojans, as they will get the sack. They will force a field goal, but I mean, the stop doesn't mean much when the field goal is good. It's a 3-score game, and that's going to be just too much. 27-10. So that'll put a wrap to year 1. We show you the rest of the results from the rest of these teams, where San Diego State loses their bowl game, Fresno State gets a win on theirs, UCLA takes care of business, and Florida dominates San Jose State. We also can see some of the stats where Maeva was far and away the best quarterback in this conference. What a season from him. This was one of the suggestions from last year's set of videos that I did. You guys wanted to see some of the stats from the players in the conference and to see who was really performing. So, you know, not every team gets their opportunity in the spotlight. There are just going to be some teams who stick to the bottom, but it's important to see what everybody is doing. So you'll get to see that, and you get to see the prospects that these guys send to the NFL, Makai Lemon and a couple of other guys for USC, and Stanford sending players to the NFL. But we're going to also do something a little bit different with the recruiting. We're not going to just look at the general recruiting. We're going to split them up. Recruits and prospects are going to be on the first tab, and then we're going to see the transfers, because that's really important. That's going to be a big game changer, because look at San Diego State. How about the 12th ranked transfer team, whereas USC all the way down there at 95? That's going to be a big difference, as in year 2, it's the same conference championship, but Cal up there at 10-2. How about Sacramento State 9-3 in their second season? So a couple of teams already trying to, you know, catapult themselves into contention with USC and UCLA. But that's going to be one important thing for this year, which is the fact that how many times have we seen a player at a bigger school not really get an opportunity, transfer to a smaller school, but it basically remains they stay in the same state, they stay local, they stay in the same area, but they just want to go and have an opportunity to play. Well, we're going to get to see a lot of that. That happens so much in the world of college football, where players want to stay home, but they also want to play. So San Diego State got an opportunity with the 12th ranked transfer class, bringing in, you know, half their class being all just transfer guys. That's going to be pretty big for them. We'll see if they can capitalize on it. But for now, USC, UCLA, same matchup. 11-1 for UCLA this time, as they are looking to be the favorites, but USC tacking on a field goal here to cut it to a one-score game. 20-12 your score, 6.5 to go, as Nico underneath is going to have a 3-and-out. So Maeva still back here. Nico, it's the same QB matchup as well, and Maeva coming off that Heisman Trophy winning season, coming off the spot where they went into the Final Four, is going to be throwing an interception, and it's going to be a pick 6 for UCLA, as the Bruins are going to get a little bit of revenge this season, it looks like, because Maeva's not having nearly as fun of a time in this conference championship. As 2nd and 14, the broken tackle here is going to spring forward a gain of 11, but it's still 3rd down and 3. Under 5 to go. It's completed, but down by 15. You need to put the ball in the end zone within the next minute or two, probably, but you're getting sacked again. And it's 3rd and 19. They're going to throw for the marker. They got it, and Maeva delivers a 1st down completion, but time is starting to run out. Under 3.5 to go. Screen set up. He's got room, and he makes a move, but I think that juke move might have costed him the 1st down. It's 4th and inches. They go for it, and it's going to be intercepted. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be taken the other way, and Maeva can't catch him. Touchdown. UCLA is going to run away with this one. But I go back to that 3rd down screen where instead of just putting your head down, getting that 1st down, he tried to like juke to the outside, and I think he lost himself a couple of at the least feet that might have gotten them the 1st down if he just did what he was supposed to. I know you can't really excuse the interception, but things could have worked out a little bit differently there. UCLA is going to be the one going to the playoffs this time around. They're taking on LSU on the road. It's 9 versus 8 seed, but LSU in a low-scoring 12-10 game has the football, and they are very much in scoring range. Offense is unable to get it going on either side. Just 12 points for LSU, but it's been enough so far, and they might have the opportunity to get it to a 2-score lead if they can punch it into the end zone. It might be too much to overcome with how little offense we have seen from UCLA. Flag is down, and that's going to be a touchdown. I don't think the flag's going to end up mattering. It looks like it was offsides, but LSU definitely going to decline that one. Touchdown for LSU. 19-10's your score. Nico on the run. He'll get a keeper for 7. And now with just 6:20 to play, Nico gonna float one down the field. One-on-one coverage. It's broken up. It looked like the receiver had it in his hands, but now it's 4th down and 3. They're gonna go with the run, and it gets blown up in the backfield. LSU with the stop, and this one could be all over if they get into the end zone one more time, because they are definitely not gonna be able to overcome that lead as they get it. Touchdown. LSU going for two. They want the three-score dagger. Outside, it's caught. And it's looking like for UCLA, it's going to be one and done. But Nico, one more hope, and he just gets hit as he's throwing. It goes right to the defender. That will do it. LSU will comfortably take care of business here. And not quite the success that USC had in the playoffs last year for UCLA. As we check out the rest of the bowl results for year 2, Sacramento State, impressive for them to go and get 10 wins and win their bowl games. So it's always interesting to see what team you bring up from the FCS is going to be able to just have that breakout. And, you know, sometimes teams that get brought up, they always just stay at the bottom and they never are able to really get the breaks that they need. And then occasionally you'll get, you know, a team or two that really is able to break through and get into that next level, is whether it's recruiting, whether it's transfer, whether it's just winning the right games at the right times. Whatever it is, winning a bowl game, especially for those FCS teams, is huge to get the prestige up. So USC and UCLA are losing their quarterbacks. That's going to be big for this upcoming season. We'll see if that shakes up what the conference championship matchup will look like, as you see that these FCS teams are not able to really recruit well. But Sacramento State, 12 players in the portal. USC, how about the number 1 ranked portal class, whereas UCLA down at 132. And the conference championship is going to be a little bit different. No UCLA, it's going to be Cal this time around. How about an 11-1 record from Cal? Sacramento State, 9-3. San Diego, 8-4. All of the FCS teams had 500 or better records except for one, so 75% in year 3 getting 6-6 or better. I think that's a win, as these teams are at least progressing nicely, but we'll see if they can get to the levels of USC. And I guess Cal right now, as they could be playoff bound even with a loss, but they're going to try to hold USC out of the playoffs, because if USC wins, maybe they can slide into that final spot. 20-17 your score right now, as USC is going to hand it off, and they're going to get stopped in the backfield. It'll be 3rd down and goal. Dropping to throw. Over the middle, it's intercepted, and it was a dropping defensive tackle into coverage. You weren't expecting that one, were you? Cal drops the D lineman into coverage, and he gets an interception. It's always great to see that happen. I always love seeing when a defense will go and drop their big 300-pounder back there, and he actually catches a pick, and that might be the game saver for this Cal team, who looked like at the very least they were going to allow them to tie it. Now they got all the momentum. They got the foot. Maybe even most importantly right now, they have moved it, gotten a couple of first downs to really help themselves out, even that they don't get the conversion there. They're going to set USC back at their own 20-yard line. So USC, if you want the lead, you're going to have to go 80 yards, and that's a nice start. You get 14 there, but with under 5 to go now, it's going to be a play action. They bite, and they get an open man over the middle for the first. So USC with a couple of first downs, handing it off as 49 for a running back number. It's pretty ugly, but we'll roll with it as 3rd down and 11. They'll throw over the middle. That's going to be caught, but short of the marker. They're not going to go for it on 4th and 2. That was definitely a situation where you could have, and Cal's going to take it back, and it'll be a nice run to set them up close to midfield. Start making USC burn those timeouts. They will. 3rd down and 2, and they'll cut it back the other way. That's a big first down. More timeouts off the board for USC. Read option. No cutback's going to work this time around. It'll be 3rd and 9. 2-minute warning will be hitting if they complete this pass, as they got time. They will complete it. He's not going to have a whole lot of room to really set himself up, but they're going to go for a 60-yard field goal. Bold call, and it's not going to work, but there's a flag. Are you kidding me? They ran into the kicker, and that's going to cost them the conference championship. You have got to be kidding me. That is just sickening for USC. You ran into the kicker. You missed the kick if you're Cal. You're giving USC the football at midfield, basically handing them field goal range with like 15 yards. Also, just to acknowledge, San Diego State got the best punter, so, check that off for them in the award category. But my goodness, Cal just was able to be gifted that conference championship at the end. Now they're in the playoffs, taking on Penn State, and in 2 plays, Penn State has padded their lead to 2 scores. It's 27-16, and Cal's got a long way to go now. They're going to want to come back in this one and defend their home turf in the playoffs. That pass knocked away. 3rd 3rd down and 10, 8 to go, as they're going to get hit, and it will be 4th and 10. They will punt it, so defense can't really allow much more, and the fumble there is going to set Penn State back a long way. Loss of 9, 3rd and 19. They'll just set up the screen. Nice safe play, keep the clock moving, and don't do anything stupid. But Cal's going to get good field position here as they'll run it. Juke move to the outside, but he will not have a lane to the outside. He's got nothing. 3rd down and 10. Running back is into block, and they got a lot of time. They'll just float one deep, and it is incomplete. Broken up along the sidelines. 4th down and 10. Got to go for it here, they feel like. And he gets hit as he's throwing. It looked like he maybe had a chance to complete that one, but instead, Penn State's got great field position. Crossing route, bad angle taken, and down to the 5-yard line. Penn State about to put this one away. They may not get into the end zone, though, as the run defense of Cal is starting to strengthen a little bit, so they'll back them up to the 13-yard line. But the passing game is what's gotten them there. It's not going to get into the end zone, so Cal will at least preserve the 2-score deficit. It's 30-16, and now you got under 4 minutes to go. No excuses for Cal. You got to get into the end zone, and they're threatening to go 4 and out right here. 4th down and 8. Cal down the middle, incomplete, and very quickly they turn it over, and the game quickly gets a little bit more out of hand. It is done, and Cal goes down. A 20-point fourth quarter from Penn State is able to get the job done here. And hey, credit to San Diego, though, who wins their bowl game. Sacramento State wins their bowl game. And how about, like, look at all the teams in the conference. Almost everybody won their bowl game. Cal Poly didn't, but nice job to get a bunch of bowl wins on the board for these guys. And, you know, like I said, especially for those FCS schools, it's especially big to get them, upgrade that conference prestige. And, you know, it kind of in a way benefits everybody to do better, to kind of almost root for your opposition to like win some games, win bowl games, because you want the overall conference prestige to be higher, so that can help you out. That helps your prestige. Everybody succeeding helps everybody else because of the conference prestige in that regard. You know, it's not just about the wins and the losses. If you can get a higher prestige as a team, you can get better recruits and, you know, maybe close the gap a little bit, because USC's sitting there at a 4.5. You're not going to be able to make up for all the Heismans and the national championships USC's got on their resume and some of the other history that these other programs got. But if you can get the high conference prestige, you can get the bowl victories, you can get good stuff for pro potential and everything, you close the gap at least a little bit. So for year 4 now, the conference championship, how about that? Sacramento State versus Cal. So no USC, no UCLA. Sacramento State, 8-0 in the conference. Fresno State, impressive, 0-8 in the conference. But look at that, Sacramento State's doing their thing right now, and they could be the team that is able to break through. So it happens sometimes where, you know, you get one that really is able to hit the ground running when they hit the FBS, and Sacramento State looks to be that team right now. But can they get over the hump, get into the playoffs, get into that conference championship podium, get all that stuff that come with it, as that would help their school out. Are they a flash in the pan, or are they here to stay? As Cal over the middle, touchdown! And they take the lead. It's a higher scoring game right now. 31 for Sac State and 34 for Cal off the 2-point conversion. And now Sacramento State is going to get pressured and sacked. 2nd down and 15 will turn to 3rd and 15. Spread the field, and the blitz comes in, and they will deliver down the middle. Nice grab. 31-yard line, and with 7 to play, that's a handoff for a solid little gain of 6. 2nd down and 4. Play action as they'll throw over the middle again, and just finding the holes in these zones. They're in Cal territory. 6.5 to go. Dropping back. He's got a pass underneath, turning it upfield, and that will be 7. So you're maybe in field goal range depending on the kicker you got, but you can't do that. Throw an interception, and you just tested a one too many times. And now Cal with the football, and the read option gets a nice block, and he will have a nice 1st down run. Cal could really get that 2-score lead, and the defender missed the football, and it's a touchdown for Cal. as the defender, maybe not the best positioning, but he still tried to get the interception. Should have just swatted it down. He missed it, and now it's a 2-score Cal lead as Sacramento State, their breakout season's maybe not going the way they want it to. Turn it over on a sack fumble. Cal takes over, already up by 10, and the interception from Sacramento State will at least give them a little bit of life to get the football back and maybe have one more try at it. But now with the run game, you can't really afford to run the football all that much more. But I guess they're going to try for at least a couple more plays, as now with 4 minutes to go, they go right down the middle. They catch that one into enemy territory as play action from the 42 right to a linebacker. A little bit of a turnover-happy game here. And Sacramento State with 4 minutes to go. Now quickly jump into 3 minutes. Third down. Conversion! They fumbled the football trying to reach for it, and it's going to set them back on 4th down. They're going to go for it anyway, and then they're going to get it. So no harm done, I guess, as Cal is going to keep getting another first down. And the timeouts are starting to dwindle away, and Cal is going to go down, but Sacramento State with just 2 minutes to go, and they are down by 13, no timeouts. And even though they drive themselves down the field here, they're faced with a 4th and 14 with 20 seconds to go. They do get it to the 3. Might be too little too late, though, as they will get it into the end zone, but with just 15 seconds to play, unless you get an onside kick and a Hail Mary. And that's not going to happen. Kick recovered by Cal, and that is a conference championship on the board for Cal, who goes back-to-back now. As I think Sacramento State could still make the playoffs. They do, and Cal will be in there as well. USC was 12th in the country. They just miss out. So let's stick with Sacramento State. This is still a really successful season for them, but they're taking on Michigan right now. It's 14-10, and Sacramento State with the ball, with the lead, is going to throw an incomplete pass there. They needed to get rid of that one because it maintains a 49-yard field goal kick on its way. It is good, so a big kick to give them a full 7-point lead. And look who they're taking on. Bryce Underwood, quarterback for Michigan right now, as it's 3rd down and 10. Underwood over the middle, broken up. 4th down, they punt it. So a quick 3 and out for the Michigan offense, and they're going to turn to their defense to get them this football back, but they can't get the 3rd down stop there. 48-yard line, and they will throw. Clean pocket, floats that one over the middle, and that will be a nice easy gain of 8, but then they'll be backed up to 3rd and 4. Doesn't matter. They will convert, and they're in enemy territory. Maybe threatening to go up by 2 scores as they're in field goal range now. 24-yard line. Hand it off right up the middle. Wide open lane, and it's goal to go. 10-yard line. 2nd down. Hand off. He's got a cornerback meeting him there at the 4. 3rd down and goal. Wide open on the RPO. Touchdown. Sacramento State is up by 14, and Bryce Underwood doesn't have anywhere to go. He's getting sacked. 3rd down and 11. Underwood, a little antsy in the pocket. It's going to be caught. But, I mean, you're running out of time right now. It's 4 minutes to play. Down by 14. You've only put up 10 points all day. 3rd down and 8. Underwood with 3 men rushing him. He's going to have that pass incomplete. He threw it into double coverage. 4th down and 8. Kind of your game on the line. Incomplete. And Sacramento State could be on path for a playoff victory as their quarterback's going to get 16 yards on the scramble. This one might be all but over. To the edge. Touchdown. Sacramento State is going to win a playoff game. In just a couple of seasons, this team has broken out successfully. The conference championship didn't go their way, but the playoff victory might be even more successful, more important for this team to go and beat a program like Michigan. Now let's turn it over to Cal, who's taking on Oregon on the road. Quarterback running. He's got the speed. He's jetting through past the safety, and he's got a big run. Get him to the 42-yard line. RPO. Floated up top for an open tight end to the 21-yard line. And Cal, will they go up by 2 scores? Maybe not quite. They'll get sacked. 3rd down and 11. Screen set up. Blockers out in front, but there's more defenders there. And it'll be 4th down. Settle for the field goal. But just like Sacramento State, a 7-point lead in the playoff game. It went well for them. Will it go well for Cal? What a defensive stop there. That was instantaneous, and it's 3rd and 14, and they'll not get the first down. It'll be 4th and 1, and from their own 26, they're going to be a little too scared to go for it. And now Cal, right down the middle of play action, a lot of room to run, and that is just so much open field. Oregon's defense got to tighten up a little bit there, as on the outside, they send the blitz, but it's going to be beat, and this quarterback able to just do everything he needs to do to deliver in the face of pressure on the ground, through the air, down to the 1, and the handoff up the middle. Stop, timeout used, 3rd down and goal, stopped in the backfield, and now Oregon, they forced the field goal try, chip shot, kick, no good! It's no good, a chip shot field goal for the 2-score lead and maybe the game. And now Oregon has the door open for a chance to pull this off. This is giving me flashbacks to last year, the way Oregon would be able to pull off victories that they had no business pulling off, and just luck would be on their side, but not this time. Strip sack, fumble recovery, touchdown, Cal. And they're going to come out on top of this one. It's not your year, Oregon. And Cal is winning the playoff game. So both teams, Cal and Sacramento State, moving on, and we'll take on a #1 team for Sacramento State. They're taking on Texas, who's going to start their 4th quarter with a chip shot field goal. Kick is good, and a 17-14 game as Sacramento State takes the kick out their own end zone. And look at the coverage. Oh my goodness, you get stopped at your own 8 on a kick return. That's insane coverage there. I don't even think anybody blocked, as now you got backed up field position. Running back just runs the wrong way there, and it's 3rd down and 3, and you're getting sacked. And now Texas, they're the #1 team for a reason, so I don't know how much you really can afford to make mistakes or give them great field position like this, as they'll float one down the middle of the field, overthrown and intercepted. That pass just floated on them. Receiver never had a chance, and Sacramento State gets another try at it. There's still 7 minutes to go, but threatening to go 3 and out. They will. Texas gets the stop, and they'll get the football back once again in good field position. And then this time over the middle, they'll get it. It's important for Sacramento State to just try to hold them to a field goal here, as they'll get the sack. That's pretty big. 2nd down and 14, but it'll turn to 3rd down and 10, as he'll get hit and he'll deliver, and he gets brought down ahead of the line for the 1st down. Didn't look like he had it. The second defender came in, basically gave it to him, and then one screen pass for the receiver. The speed takes him into the end zone, and it might be all over for Sacramento State. I don't want to call it too early, but 4th down here, and he had no chance. Not a single chance to get that 1st down. Texas might just be too talented of a team, might be just too much for this Sacramento State team. I can still say, though, what a year for them. Texas held to a field goal, so still a 2-score game, but you need to put the ball in the end zone, and you're already down to timeout. You're getting sacked. I mean, there's just so much talent all over this field for Texas. He's stepping up. He's thrown to the outside. It's caught, but just a gain of 1. 4th down and 11. This is your final chance. He's running around. He's just a little too antsy in the pocket. He's getting sacked, and Texas is going to put an end to this one, it looks like. And with 24-14 being your score, the game ends 30-14, and Texas just was too much. They run down the clock, kick a field goal, and now we turn to Cal, who they're having their struggles. They're taking on Clemson. Clemson was able to knock out USC a couple of years ago, and Cal now tacking on a field goal to make it a 10-point deficit. So 9:30 to play, and we'll see what Cal has to offer on defense. Not much in the run game, though, as they will now have to defend the pass. Pass in the middle of the field, caught in between 2 defenders. 2nd down and 7, read option. He's gonna get tracked down. There you go, loss of 2. 3rd down and 9. They're in that long distance field goal range. Nice swat on the line. That's great. And they won't take the field goal. That's huge. They have to punt the football away. Maybe they just can't hit from 53, 54 yards. So Cal's offense maybe can get it into a 1-score game with a nice drive here. And their quarterback is a great runner. And they got some injuries out there, but the quarterback, as long as he's okay, they might have a chance at this one, as it's 44-yard line. 3rd down and 8, and you run it. That I don't like. 4th down and 12, going for it. They played it as if it was 4 down territory because it was 4 down territory, but running on 3rd down and 8, it only looks smart if you get a couple of yards. It doesn't look good though if you lose 4 yards and then you're throwing on 4th down and 12. And now Clemson about to put this game away. One more touchdown will do it, and they're getting real close right now at the 12-yard line. 1st down and 10, over the middle, catch, he'll fight ahead, touchdown, Clemson. And that is going to do it for both these teams in the second round of the playoffs. Clemson ends up running away with this one 40-13 as your final. So still think overall a successful year where we got to see some new teams get involved and get into the mix, as Sacramento State won a playoff game. Cal got to the next round, and I think Sacramento State's really developed a nice team. How about a 93 overall running back for Sacramento State who goes and has an incredible season? Their receiver, just a 79 overall, but 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. You look at all the statistical proficiencies, and it's just Sacramento State across the board. They had a great year. So good job on them, and that's a really high-rated freshman too. I mean, I don't know what their talent development is looking like over there, but it's looking pretty dang good right now. They're out here sending a running back in the 1st round of the draft, so even though their overall looks pretty low, I don't know, I feel like the overall, at least this year and in last year's game, has always felt kind of weird because it always looks a lot different than maybe what the team actually is, and I don't know why that is. Maybe that's just been a visual thing that they haven't been able to figure out. But, I mean, Sacramento State's definitely not like a 67, 68 overall team. If they're out here with like an 87 quarterback, a 93 running back, they had, an okay receiving core, some really high-rated players. And then you look at how things formulate next season, a new conference championship opponent. USC's back up there at the top, but they're taking on a ranked Stanford team, and Sacramento State, unfortunately for them, just on the outside looking in of the playoffs and the conference championship. But for USC, it is nothing but pure domination on Stanford. Oh my goodness, 63-3 is your final. That is embarrassing. 63-3. I mean, I don't know if I can remember having a conference championship that dominant in any video I had last year. That is ridiculous. So yeah, pretty easily USC is going to go ahead and make it to the playoffs. Also an award to take home, best DB. So now we go to head to USC versus Notre Dame. 17-16 your score, and USC trying to remind everybody after that great first season that they had that they are still the favorites here, as that's a fumble and scooped up. USC taking it the other way. Touchdown. And a 2-point try to give them the full 7-point lead right there at the line. They give it to them. 2 points is good. And Notre Dame is going to have the football back. And suddenly they are down by 7 with 8 minutes to play as they go play action. Rolling out. He gets past the edge rusher. Throws it down the field. What a play. They needed a spark like that to get some momentum back on their side. Quick pass to the outside. He's reaching. Not quite. 3rd and inches. Handing it off. They got the first down pretty easily there. Line did a great job of opening up that lane. And now 23 yards on the read option to the edge. He's close. He's fighting still, and he's got the first down. 13-yard line. Back to the ground. This time USC got defenders in the area. 3rd and 12. As trying to do it through the air, the check down isn't going to really get them all that close. 4th and 7, they will take the field goal, so it will be a 4-point deficit and 5 minutes to play for the USC offense, and we'll see what this offense has in store for this Notre Dame defense on 2nd down and 1-play action. And blindside pressure gets in. It's a sack. Set up 3rd down and 6. As they'll throw down the middle. Pass was high, but he snagged it out of the air, and USC keeping the drive going as they will have it at the 48-yard line with an 8-yard gain. 3:30 to play, and that's a read option. He's got a lot of room past the 40, past the 30, and he's falling forward to the 23-yard line. USC a field goal range, and now floating one out route. Got it. 10-yard line, basically goal to go. Screen, not gonna happen as they lose yards. Now 3rd down and 12 from the 12. Slant route, touchdown. and Notre Dame had their chances to get off the field and at least allow a field goal, and it just did not go their way. So now they got an 11-point deficit to try to overcome with under 3 minutes to play, and they're taking a shot deep, and they need this one badly. It's brought in! Notre Dame keeping their hopes alive. They got 2 timeouts on the board still. So now with the 2-minute warning approaching, last play beforehand, screen, 3rd down and 1 converted, and they're right on the fringe of the red zone as they can take a field goal here, but you want that touchdown first as they are going to get 9. 12-yard line, 1:44 to play, and he's going to tuck, he's going to throw it on the run, and he's leveled! Just knocked that football out of him, and a flag is down on the next play. This one looks to be offsides. That will really help Notre Dame. It's a bit of a bailout because they didn't get the 3rd down in 1 run, and now it's goal to go for Notre Dame. Quick pass, he's not going to get there. More time comes off the clock, 3rd down and goal. He's going to get sacked. More time off the clock. It's 4th down and goal, and they're hurrying it back to the line. They're just taking too much time to score on this drive, and they're down a timeout, so you kind of need the onside kick here. He's going to run for it. He's going to make a move, and he's in, but you just took so much time, and now the onside kick is what you're relying upon as that 2-point conversion pass is going to be picked off, and now it's 26-31, onside kick with the game on the line. Kick is going to be off the hands of a USC player, and Notre Dame's got the onside kick. No way you're gonna choke this like this, Trojans. 1st down, 44 seconds to go. You're down to 1 timeout. Taking the shot deep. They want it all. It's incomplete. 2 defenders in the area. 3rd down and 10. 37 seconds to play. He's taking another shot deep. He wants to win it, and it's incomplete. Another pass in double coverage. 4th down and 10. Down the middle. He's got it. 28 seconds to go. Pass is going to be underneath, and they're out of timeout, so it's 3rd down, 17 seconds to play. Going down the middle, caught, but you're running out of time. You got no timeouts. Hurry it back to the line. 14 seconds to play. You're 8 yards away from the win, and they are going to spike this football. 10 seconds to go. You can't get tackled in bounds. He's rolling right. Gotta get rid of it. He can! It's a sack, and the game is gonna be over. USC holds on, and they tried to lose it at the end, it felt like, but Notre Dame, you just couldn't take the sack there. A couple of things went their way. It would have been different, but now USC is going to be on to the next round, taking on Georgia. They're number 2 in the country. They're 12-1. And USC, what do you got? Can you get back to the Final Four as they're going to go right up the middle? Nice handoff for the 1st down, as their running backs were running it well so far today. Now their quarterback taking the shot deep middle over the head of everybody. 4th down, they're punting, and this punt from about midfield is going to be a beauty. Kick bounces at the 1-yard line. What a pun, as now Georgia needs to go the length of the field if they want to put this ball in the end zone, as 3rd down and 7. Almost got a safety there, but he got rid of the football. Now USC, though, good job at the very least. You didn't get the safety, but you get great field position. You get the ball from midfield, you run it for 9, screen to the outside, right at the marker, give them the 1st down. You're basically in field goal range. How about another screen? Couldn't get the block on the edge, though. That would have gotten a lot of yards if they got that one block. But now 2nd down and 3, got the 1st down. Clock ticking to about 5 minutes to play. Another RPO, quick pass. 1st down, no, not quite. They say 3rd and inches. That's about as close as it gets, and they will convert. That was so close to a 1st down on that other play. Thought they had it. Now this RPO gets them 8 more. They're just dinking and dunking their way down the field, and now 1st down carry, goal to go, 3:30 to play, 6-yard line, over the middle, reaching, touchdown, Trojans. What a drive. Even though it was just a 50-yard drive, still a lot of nice plays to just continue to move forward on that one and grind it out. And now with just under 3 minutes to play, Georgia, they got the ball in enemy territory, and it's up to them to try to do the same thing. And they're getting tackled in the backfield. 4th down and 4 now after a loss of 3. Outside on 4th down, intercepted. USC with the football, and is he going to take it all the way? Woman to beat. He breaks the tackle, but he gets slowed down enough to be brought down, and Georgia might have just thrown their opportunity away, as USC, 1 1st down will do it. The touchdown will do it too. Just hold on to the football, and they get the touchdown. USC, even though Georgia is going to score with 7 seconds to go, is going to win this game unless they have some monumental collapse. They're not going to. They recover the onside kick, and the game is over. USC, welcome back to a semifinals appearance. Can they get the job done this time around as they're taking on Michigan? As Michigan, you know, they had that loss to Sacramento State. Doesn't seem to really be hurting them in their program that much. They're still coming out here doing great things, but they're losing, and they threw a pick. USC's defense coming up with another big turnover, and now USC can go up by 2 scores. Handoff. Gonna get stopped in the backfield as their running back still over 100 yards on the day, and they're gonna keep it with them. 3rd down and 9. You probably shouldn't have ran it, but they're just gonna be content taking the field goal. They seem very happy just to take that 2-score lead. Can't blame them. They trust their defense, and maybe their defense has more big plays in them, but Michigan's offense needs to do something in the worst way as there's 7 minutes to go, and you can't allow USC to get this football back and keep the momentum on their side, as that's a nice broken tackle to get the first down. 6 minutes to go. 3rd down and 3. Outside. 1st down. A lot of room to run. And he's going to get a 19-yard gain. And now they're in the red zone. Quick pass. He gets lit up, but he hangs on. 3rd down and 5. As with 4:40 to play, he's going to throw over the middle. It's going to be broken up, incomplete. 4th down. They're going to take the field goal. And the kick is good. So back to a 1-score game. We're down to 4.5 to go, and USC's got the football. That's a backwards pass, and going to lose 4 yards there. Their running back was over 100. Now he's at 96 yards. He's not really doing all that well. And the quarterback throwing an interception. Michigan's got it this time. And Michigan, can they take the lead here? Handoff inside the 10. Down to the 9. Both quarterbacks now with a costly mistake in this one as he's scrambling. Touchdown, Michigan. Extra point will give him the lead. And a 9-point comeback successfully made here. Down by 1, USC has got to do something with 2 minutes to go. 3rd down and 7. Has got the curl route. He hangs on. 1st down. As now we jump to a 3rd down and 3. Another 3rd down situation and another conversion. No, that's so close. That's basically a 1st down. They call it 4th and inches, and it's incomplete. That is ridiculous. That is so close. They didn't review it or anything. Michigan now with the football. USC down timeout, and it's gonna be a 1st down. Michigan wins it. That was such a close call. I thought he had that 1st down for sure, but they did not give it to him. And 4th and inches, I mean, I know clock is, you know, ticking down and everything, but you probably should have just ran the football at that point. Sacramento State actually takes on their conference opponent, San Diego, in a bowl game. And Sacramento State, though, nice job on them to win another bowl game. USC's running back does a nice job leading the conference comfortably in rushing yards. And how about an 86 overall redshirt freshman receiver at Sacramento State? Their talent development is awesome. I don't know what they got going on there. And they got a true freshman 77 overall, leading in sacks with 16. Oh my goodness. Like, I don't know who the coach is. They're getting some awesome play, though, out of these players. And now sending guys to the NFL. Cal sends 3. Stanford, after their embarrassing conference championship situation, they send 2. UCLA sending 4. And obviously, a team like USC, 2 first-round draft selections. And you go to the recruiting side of things, and you know, Sacramento State, I mean, 36th in the country for recruits. USC obviously up there, but everybody in the top 100, which is also nice. Like, no one is completely stinking it up when it comes to just getting, you know, freshmen in there. And then the portal, some teams having their struggles, but man, USC is just dominating right now in that regard. And now we go to a conference championship. USC's back in there. They're taking on Cal. Cal so far 2-0 in conference championships. And Sacramento State, once again, they're sitting there at 10-2. A lot of teams went 6-2 in the conference. Like, it's just kind of funny how that all situated itself. There was a lot of tiebreakers that must have went into that to decide that this was the conference championship. But it's USC and Cal. USC at 10-2. Cal 9-3, unranked. Basically, we're in a spot where Cal pulls this one off. Nobody's going to the playoffs. We've had a playoff representative every year so far, but can Cal go 3-0 in their conference championships, or will USC snag another one? As this would be big for Cal and big for a lot of schools if Cal can win this one, because USC, you don't want them running away with the title in this one. You don't want them to have a runaway victory. This would keep it close for Cal and other schools to have a chance. So, you know, if you're rooting for anyone other than USC, you're rooting for USC to lose this game. as California gonna have that pass caught over the middle by USC. That's such a nice play. Just 5 minutes to go, and USC is gonna be able to take a 2-score lead here as long as they just hold on to this football. It looks like, as they'll run it wide open lane, touchdown Trojans. And that is the 2-score lead, but it's going to be 2 touchdowns instead of a touchdown and a field goal, as a direct snap to the running back. Cal loses 2 yards. 3rd down and 3, as he's going to check it down, swarming to it, and they'll get it to 4th and 1, but still 4th down. They'll float one down the field. It's brought in. He had a step, and there was a chance that could have been even a touchdown, but still the 1st down and a big play is going to be enough for Cal, as their quarterback now scrambling for a nice 20-plus yarder to the 24-yard line, as they're moving it, and they're moving it quickly. That's the important part. Hang on to those timeouts and see if you can get this football into the end zone, as Cal gonna get sacked. And now 2:27 to play. 3rd down and 8. Blitz sent in. Floating one up top. End zone. It's brought in. Touchdown. He didn't just get 1 foot. He got 2 feet in bounds. Cal with all of their timeouts, and USC needs a couple of 1st downs, and that's going to be a good one there. So now 1st down and another one gotten. It's going to be 2-minute warning with Cal out of timeouts. And how about one more for good measure? Oh my goodness, Cal can't get a stop right now, as they're going to have the 2-minute warning hit, as now 3rd down and 13, sweep it to the edge, and you just don't deserve to win it. You allowed them to get 4 1st downs on the ground. You don't deserve to even get the football back. You had even a lot of things go your way. There was one play where they went out of bounds. There was another play where they got it on 1st down, so it, didn't take up too much time. You didn't have to use all their timeouts. You had 3 timeouts. You had the 2-minute warning on your side. You had a lot of opportunities. You allowed 4 1st downs on the ground, though. So, yeah, you just don't deserve that one. So, USC going to be taking on Michigan. It feels like we've been taking on Michigan a lot, but credit to Cal, at least. Their defensive back went absolutely nuts. Stephen Kane with 8 interceptions, 64 tackles, 9 pass deflections, a sack. He won a bunch of awards, but like I said, we've seen Michigan a lot, but Michigan's going to get themselves stomped out right now by USC, as it will be a 41-14 victory. So a dominant playoff win for the Trojans, and they are moving on to the 2nd round, as they are once again looking to try to get back to a Final Four. They've gotten there twice, haven't been able to get into the national championship. They're not taking on Oklahoma State. Can you get in this time around, as you are up by 14? So you're looking good, but under 8 minutes to play. Oklahoma State with the football. Screen with a lot of room to run. He turns it up the sidelines, and he will have a 1st down, as now we jump ahead to another screen. This one to the running back. Defender gets absolutely put on his back. Oh my goodness. And we move it ahead to another 1st down, as this time it's a fumble, scooped up by USC. He couldn't get the pass up. Maybe that's why they were doing so many screens, because their offensive line did not help out at all. And USC with the opportunity to go up by 3 scores, and I think they might be well on their way to another Final Four appearance, as they swing it out inside the 20, inside the 10, down to the 3-yard line. 1 touchdown can end this one, and he's going to helicopter his way in. He puts it into the end zone, and even though Oklahoma State would eventually score one more time to get it down to a 14-point game, it's a comfortable victory for the Trojans, who are going to be moving on. And will they finally get to that national championship that they have been trying to get to for a long time, because it's been many years of them in the playoff hunt, winning conference championships. They've got into like I said, 2 Final Four appearances previously. They have been obviously the closest to getting there, and now taking on an undefeated #1 ranked Georgia team, and a field goal is going to give them a 5-point lead on that Georgia squad. So even though USC is number 12 in the country, that ranking I don't even feel like is all that fair to them, because it's more just because they're not in like the SEC and they don't have that type of respect. They are beating up on a couple of maybe lesser teams like San Jose and San Diego State. No disrespect to them, but those schools haven't really done anything so far in this video, and they're beating up on them. They are a really good team, though. It's just funny how the conference championship pictured out the way that it did, with everybody being 6-2, and USC, was enough to get into the playoffs with the tiebreakers that they had. They won their conference championship, and it was a spot where if they didn't make it, they probably wouldn't be here right now. So lucky for them that all the tiebreakers worked out in their favor, but Georgia could take the lead right now. They're getting sacked. It's 4th and 11, and they're going to take the field goal. Very interesting that they went for it once, but they didn't go for it twice, and they end up now down by 2. 3rd down and 2. Georgia using timeouts, and it's going to be a 1st down. One more will end it, and they can go to a national championship. Georgia gets to stop their 3rd down and 7. This is for the national championship. USC, he hung on to that football, and it's going to be a victory for the Trojans. That ball had so many opportunities to just fall out of his hands, and now a national championship appearance. They took down the undefeated Georgia squad. Can you take down Ohio State? 23-17 to score. USC right now winning, but it's Ohio State, and I feel like, at least early on in college football 26, it's starting to feel like Ohio State might be last year's Oregon. They might be the algorithm, because look at them throwing the football deep into double coverage. It's reeled in. That's a crazy play. A quarterback had no reason to throw that football, but it worked out. And Ohio State from the 27, 3rd down on the run. It's going to be caught, but a defender breaks on it. He gets him tackled. 4th down and 6. Ohio State knocked away. USC takes over. Ohio State could have taken the field goal, but they wanted to go for the lead on this drive. They didn't want to still be down. So, you can't blame them, but sometimes, teams would be more willing to go for it. You look what Georgia did. They didn't go for it in the situation where they had the chance to. For Ohio State, though, it seems to have worked out. Their defense gets the stop, and they get the football in great field position. One play in enemy territory. They go. Gain of 14. 4 minutes to go as they swing it outside on the bubble. 1st down as they are at the 32-yard line. Read option. He gets driven to the ground. 3rd and 15, blitzing in, and even though the free rusher got there, they're still going to get good yards. 4th down and 4, blitzing in again, and it's going to be beat again. So nice job from Ohio State to just counter the blitz, but they're not getting anything on that design keeper. 3rd down and 8. He's going to load up and take a shot for the corner of the end zone. Knocked away USC's defense. Can you hold him for one more play as they're going to get hit as he's throwing? USC with the football back. A 1st down will seal it. Pass outside. Caught for a gain of 6. Now we go to 3rd down and 3. National championship on the line. It's caught. USC has won the national championship. It took them their 3rd Final Four appearance, but they finally got the job done, and the bar has been set for the rest of the teams in this state. You gotta go and win a national championship if you're going to want to touch USC. You can maybe make arguments in other aspects, doing more with what you're working with and, having the higher degree of difficulty, because USC obviously started as the highest overall, the highest prestige, started with the highest everything. But you go and win a national championship, you put yourselves in that top tier conversation for the victory, and you're looking at the teams that really have the opportunity to go and overtake them. UCLA has done pretty nice. Cal, 2 conference championships to their name, and Sacramento State made a playoff, won a playoff game. So those are the 3 teams you're kind of eyeing to maybe say, could they catch them? Sacramento State sending 4 players to the NFL and some really quality ones. How about a 98 overall safety? Like, my goodness, the talent development there is crazy. USC, though, yeah, they lose a lot of players. My goodness. How about losing like a dozen players and not 7th rounders? That basically equates to 10 of the first 100 draft picks were USC players. So, like I said, very strong team. Number 12 in the country didn't really reflect how good they truly were, but we'll see if they can follow up after losing that much. And they're not going to be able to. 7-5 on the season. Meanwhile, Sacramento State, the door is open for them. Stanford, they'll get another try at it. And 5 teams are ranked. None of them are USC. So some teams are really starting to maybe capitalize on the fact that, hey, 1, we need to be a little bit more urgent. USC won a national championship. 2, USC just lost their whole team. They might not be good for a year or 2. So this is your opportunity. And for Stanford, after the embarrassment of their first conference championship, they're going to try to come out here and win this one, as they're going to tie it up with Sacramento State. And it will be 19-19 with 8 minutes to play. So Sacramento State is going to have a 1st down there. 29-yard line. They'll hand it off to the edge. He's going to make one cut and get 9 yards. 3rd down and 1. They have not had a good run game. How about 10 carries for 12 yards? But that's going to work out, and he lunges forward, too. Look at that. As now play action from the 44. Down the seam, tight ends got that one wide open, as now they're in field goal range. 5 minutes on the clock, and they will deliver another 1st down, 15 yards inside the red zone. Designed rollout, gotta pass too low. It'll be 4th down, so they got into the red zone, stalled. They will get the field goal, though, so they have the lead. They'll sweep it, and he's got room. Nice blocking. He's got a lot of space, and springing him ahead for a 20-yard run, as they will give it to him again, and this time all over. That was 3rd down and 10 too that they ran the football, so Sacramento State will take it back, and time is running out, and they're gonna have to start using timeouts. 2:30 to play, 3rd down, and it's gonna be incomplete. Threw that one into tight coverage. So Stanford with the football back, maybe your last try to get into field goal range to try to tie this one up, and you're already at about midfield. Now we jump to 3rd down and 1. Handoff is going to be stopped. 4th down and 1, game on the line. Stanford is gonna get sacked. And another conference championship loss. This one far less embarrassing. But Sacramento State at 14th in the country. I think that might be enough to get them into the playoffs, as it will be number 11 seed taking on Georgia. And how about, hey, credit to San Diego, 25th in the country, and they won best kicker. So, you know, an award's an award. I know maybe don't care to count the best kicker or best punter award, but hey, we'll take any award we can get for these schools, as Georgia's going to get stopped at the goal line. 4th down, they kick the field goal, and it's 22-21 with Sacramento State with the football, as Georgia already went down last year to USC. They don't want to go down in the playoffs to another team in California, as a screen out on 3rd and 18. Yeah, you had no real chance there, and you're going to give Georgia great field position with the lead, so play action. Sack gets in. 4 defenders got there, and the ball squirts loose. Georgia's O-line, what the heck were you doing on that play? No one helped him, as they are going to have now great field position in field goal range to try to take the lead here. They get stopped 4th down and 4, and the field goal try is going to be good. So even though the Georgia defense did their job, the offense needs to help them out. I wouldn't even say really the offense, just the offensive line needs to help them out, because that was just awful, and you set your quarterback up for failure. This time around, he's kind of running around a little too much, but look at the catch and run. I mean, he turned upfield very quickly, and it looked like he was maybe going to be tracked down, but he gets the first. Georgia's quarterback throwing it out of bounds. 3rd down turns to 4th down. They'll punt it, and Sacramento State with the ball back, and a nice lane opens up. Good run, 29-yard line. Jump into 2nd down and 6 with under 3 to play, as that pass caught, and it will be a gain of 16. Georgia starting to use timeouts. Screen outside. He's got speed. He's got a lot of speed. Jetting down the sidelines. Look at that. 35 yards. And now Georgia in trouble. 2-minute warning has hit. 3rd down and 9. You get the 1st down, it's over. You're not going to, though, so you get to kick the field goal, and maybe Georgia has a little bit of an opportunity, but you missed the field goal. That changes everything. Now Georgia just needs a field goal for the win. That changes everything, and Georgia now realizing that the door's wide open. 2 first downs back-to-back from the 43. 40 seconds to go. Open downfield. He's knocked away. He had positioning. Maybe if you let it more to the outside, you would have had it. 3rd down and 10. Deep middle, and it's broken up again. You got to get 10 yards now. 4th and 10. He's throwing it deep. Will it be 3rd time's a charm? No! Incomplete. Georgia's quarterback, I don't know if I agree with the strategy of just chucking 3 deep balls and hoping one of them worked out for you. That was bold, but now Sacramento State's going to move on. They're taking on an 11-1 Oklahoma team, as they run right up the middle for Oklahoma's back, who's got the football. 3rd down and inches RPO. They're inside the 10-yard line, so you don't hold them to a field goal here. You're going to be down by 2 scores, as they will get the great option, get stopped. third down and goal from the 14 is the situation here, as they'll send players to the end zone. They'll just take the check down, though. So they sent everybody to the end zone and then had one check down. They took the check down, 4th and goal, and they'll kick the field goal. So it will be 24-17 and a one-score game for Sacramento State still. With the football, they're going to throw it outside, and it'll be a gain of 6:30 to play just about. 3rd down and 4, chucking it outside over the head of an open man. That's brutal. Now Oklahoma loses 2 there. 3rd down and 6. Screen set up. They just flat out missed that one. You maybe had a chance to get the 1st down if you completed it, but now it'll be Sacramento State football again. And the crosser is going to have a lot of room to run with a 45-yard line as a play action hits. And they will float one down the middle. Wide open tight end. No one was near him, and now you're in the red zone. Pass is going to be a diving grab at the 1-yard line. Goal to go for the tie. Pass is caught. Touchdown. Sacramento State. Could they be on to a Final Four? That would be impressive, as they are going to have Oklahoma in a tie game. They're giving them all the fight that they can handle. Oh, it was a bad snap. He missed the snap. I have not seen something like that before. I mean, I've seen a couple of bad snaps, but that one was crazy. And it's going to cost Oklahoma the possession. And now Sacramento State with great field position, throwing it outside. 1st down, they're in field goal range. This could be that defining play that really costs Oklahoma. They get the sack. 38-yard line, 3rd and 16. Good job to get that football off because it preserves field goal range, but still 55 yards ain't going to be easy. Kick is good. Sacramento State with the lead. 1:25 to play, and the run is going to be for a 1st down. As now 35-yard line. He's going to launch one deep. He's got a lot of room. Caught. Touchdown. No one was near him. He burned the defense, and Oklahoma back on top. You got a minute to play as you got a 1st down. Timeouts are going to be starting to get used, though. You got to go 74 yards, and you're getting sacked. Down to your final timeout already. 55 seconds to play, and the check down on 2nd and 16. I mean, you'll get some okay yards there. You'll take 10, but you got 40 seconds to go. Clock running. Pass outside. Caught. He's going to get the 1st down. They'll use your final timeout. I wouldn't have used it there, but they're going to run it and surprise them, and it worked. The run. Big run. That just stunned Oklahoma, and it worked. They got the line and spiked it. 20 seconds to play. Passing complete. 3rd down and 10. 28 yards. 18 seconds to play. It's a sack. And they have to hurry back to the line. This is the final play. 4th and 16. They need to go 34 yards for the win. Dropping to throw it. He's going to step up. He's got nowhere to go. It's a sack. And the game is over. Sacramento State. That was a pretty crazy ending. You know, the miss snapped. Let Sacramento State get the lead. And Oklahoma comes back the other way. That run was a crazy call. And I guess, you know, every once in a while, a crazy call like that's going to work out. And, I mean, you just couldn't get the protection at the end. But their quarterback in 15 games, how about 5,000 plus yards through the air? So one heck of a season from this team. I mean, their receivers, the top 2 leading receivers, both over 1,300 yards. I mean, like, when it comes to the offensive category, all the stats, all the yardage stats, and the positional leaders, it feels like Sacramento State's just got them all. Like, they are just producing. And, you know, you see some of these other schools, like Cal Poly sending some players to the NFL. They got one there. But Sacramento State, 6 guys getting drafted. All of them day 3, but still, 6 guys going to the NFL. Pretty impressive. And USC, they send 5 more. So after the season where USC lost a whole bunch of players, basically just lost the entire core of their team, we'll see if they bounce back. Sacramento State, speaking of bouncing back, they needed to bounce back from that bad recruiting class, because that is rough. Not good portal or freshman stuff, and it's going to leave the door open. USC hasn't recovered. Sacramento State with a bad class, and how about Cal Poly in the conference championship, and they're taking on Stanford. Stanford, their third appearance, they're 0-2. I also want to shout out the fact that San Diego is 12th in the country at 11-1, as Cal Poly is going to be 10-2 and getting a touchdown to take a 1-point lead. They missed the 2-point conversion, but Stanford is going to need to win this game, not just for the fact that they are already down 0-2 in conference championships so far, but at number 8 in the country, you lose this game, you might miss the playoffs. If Cal Poly wins this game, I'm not confident they do make it from number 21 in the country. So threatening to have our first season without a playoff representative here. 6 minutes to go, and it's Cal Poly football as the defender bit on that one. I don't know where he was running there. It's going to be 4th down, though. They go 3 and out as Stanford with the football back. These teams trade in possessions. And Stanford broken tackle. It's going to get a lot of yards extra. That's a crucial missed tackle, as now they're at the 35-yard line. Run is going to lose a yard. They're backed up. Long field goal try from 53 is good. Stanford's got the lead with 3 minutes to go. Cal Poly is got to pass underneath, and that will get them to the 30-yard line as they'll get back to the line. 2:48 to go. Floating a slant route, and it will be for 8. Now 2-minute warning has hit. 3rd and inches. They're going to go to the air. They're going to complete it, and they'll get the first. So midfield stripe as they're at the 137 mark. Quarterback trying to run away from defenders, but he ends up just going more backwards, and he's going to lose yards. 3rd and 21. Long way to go, and the check down's not going to do much for you. 4th and 16. Minute to go. Game on the line, and he's got time. He's going to throw outside. It's not going to matter if it was completed or not, as they're going to turn it over, but Cal Poly does have all their timeouts, so maybe they'll get a chance as they're going to run it, and they're going to burn a second timeout. 3rd down and 13. They're going to throw. He's going to take a shot. He wants it all. He wants the dagger. Incomplete. And they're not going to be able to take a field goal. It would have been from 62. You're not taking that. You're going to make Cal Poly drive the length of the field. They got one timeout in their back pocket. 30 seconds to go. Pass outside. Caught, and he got out of bounds. 21-yard line. As now 21 seconds to play. Deep middle. Incomplete. Almost picked. 3rd down and 10. Need a big play at some point, and this could be one of the big plays that they need from the 36 after the gain of 15. 10 seconds to go. Down the middle. It's caught. That's the big play. And they're going to hurry back to the line as they have 7 seconds. I think they have enough time to spike it as they're going to get to the line. 3, 2, spike. Field goal try to pull off an upset on Stanford. Kick is good, and Stanford blew it. 0-3 in conference championships, and Cal Poly is going to take one. That is unexpected, and because of that, I thought no one was going to make the playoffs, but hey, Stanford does end up sneaking in still at the 11 spot. And hey, look who's back again, Michigan. I feel like there's so much Michigan in the playoffs, just taking about every single time, as it's 21-20. Stanford, I mean, they could get their first playoff win before their first conference championship, which doesn't often happen, but it happens sometimes, as it's going to be a 4-point deficit, and it will be to the 30-yard line after a first down. 7:30 to play. He'll drop and throw over the middle, caught, and it'll be a gain of 18. 7 minutes. Hand off. Running back going to be patient, and he's going to power through for a gain of 7. As now at the 44-yard line, they'll throw outside to an open man. 1st down. So they're moving the ball really well. Slant over the middle's caught. So now they're in the red zone. 17-yard line. 2nd down and 8 now. Throwing it over the middle. Diving. Grab at the 2. And they can finish this great drive off. But it's not going to be that easy. They lose yards. 2nd and goal from the 4. They'll sweep it. Trying a similar idea, and that loses 2 again. I mean, same idea, same result. Now from the 6, they're going to scramble it in, and now they punch it in for the touchdown. Michigan down by 3 as they are going to have a completion over the middle. Catch and run to the 38. Under 3 minutes to play. Michigan with all their timeouts as the run right up the middle. Spin move. He just made him miss, and they are on the fringe of field goal range. And Stanford with a tackle for loss. Loss of 1. Now 2nd and 11 from the 42. He's getting hit as he's throwing, and that's going to be another loss of 1. 3rd and 12 as he's got time in the pocket, and that's going to get them a broken tackle and a 1st down. You cannot allow that to happen. That is brutal. And then a perfect throw. 2 more broken tackles and a touchdown. You went from holding them to a long field goal try. You missed 3 tackles on 2 plays, and it's a touchdown. And now with under a minute to go, you need to score, as you have now got to go 65 yards, and that's intercepted. Michigan with the football back, and that will do it. Stanford, both conference championship and playoffs, absolutely choked it on defense on that last drive. Both games. Unbelievable. You just can't let that happen. It's ridiculous how that happened. I mean, the Michigan one was worse. You allowed him to break the tackle, get the first down, and then you allow the touchdown the way that you did. So Stanford ends up going to 0-3 in conference championships, 0-1 in the playoffs. Cal Poly, maybe that conference championship is something to build on. Maybe it'll be a flash in the pan. Maybe they'll be, a little bit more consistently contending. Sacramento State sends 2 players to the NFL. Nice job for them. San Diego's quarterback was a 93 overall. He goes in the second round. Stanford sends a solid 7 players to the league. USC and UCLA doing their typical stuff, sending 3 to 6 players every single season. And when it comes to recruiting, USC on top there. And every team, I am like happy that when it comes to recruiting, most of the time, like we see like these teams in the top 100. There hasn't been consistent like 133rd as like the average first, because that happens. Like there are times where that happens. So going into the next season, San Diego at 11-1, they go to the conference championship, and they're taking on UCLA. USC still hasn't been able to recover, just sticking around with 7 to 8 win seasons, and it's given opportunities for new teams to take advantage and get a chance, like Cal Poly, and now San Diego could win their first conference championship. San Diego had a really good season last year. They just couldn't get to that conference title. They couldn't get into the playoffs, but another 11-1 year. This is their opportunity, but UCLA, who's kind of just been floating around as one of the better teams in this conference, but not quite been able to get a bunch of playoff success or a bunch of conference championship success. This is their chance potentially, as they've been consistently good. They've been recruiting well. Maybe now this can be their breakout opportunity. So it's got to be a national championship for somebody else to catch USC. And now 27-19 being your score. It's a close one. These two teams want it badly, and it will be a first down for San Diego. They're at the 24-yard line, and they will get sacked, and it's a loss of a lot. And 3rd down and 16 will hit. Slant route, though, is going to get them all of those yards and the first down into the red zone, and that pass gonna be caught for 8. They're inside the 10. There's a flag down, and I think that might be some free yards there. They're not gonna need them though, as they're gonna get it all the way down to the 1-yard line. So take your free 5 yards. We'll take the 6 yards that we got on that run, get it to 1st and goal, and it will be a touchdown. The 2-point conversion though is the important one here for the tie and the sack, as UCLA maintains their lead for a little bit longer. 5.5 to play, and a loss of 4 to set up 3rd and 14. That check down is going to get them just 2, so give the football back to San Diego, and now just needing a field goal to take the lead. They're down to 4.5 minutes, though. 3rd and 1 is going to get stopped in the backfield. Loss of 1. They're going for it from the 47, and the sack is going to give UCLA the ball back. And now things are looking rough because San Diego's using timeouts. They got 1 left, and UCLA's going to get a first down. That one was close, but they're going to just keep stringing it together. They get an injury timeout to help them out, but UCLA running it, and it will be a first down. Goal to go, and the touchdowns, no! Intercepted! Are you serious, UCLA? You just may have given San Diego the wide open opportunity to win this game. You were doing perfectly fine. Just run the ball. And now San Diego throwing it up top. It's caught at the 43. They're really next to field goal range. Maybe 5 yards outside. Intercepted. I think balance was restored, and UCLA running it in. And that's going to be a victory. That is unfortunate. But for UCLA, it's looking like we are actually going to have our first season with no anyone in the conference being in the playoffs, because a victory for number 19 UCLA, I don't know if that's going to be enough to put them in. I mean, obviously San Diego's out, but will they get that nod? They will not. So it took us 9 years. I think that's pretty impressive, though. 8 years in a row of playoff appearances, and it's not like it was just USC every time. I mean, a couple other teams got in there, so I think it's pretty nice, and it was so close for both sides on that one, but UCLA at least played spoilers and made sure that no one else could get into the playoffs if it wasn't going to be them. But now we look at USC, who's had 3 years in a row of 8-win-ish seasons. They haven't fully recovered. The door's been left open, but no one's really kicked it through quite yet. And that's going to lead to USC still having a pretty comfortable lead here. But look at Cal Poly, sending 2 guys to the first round of the NFL draft. It's pretty nice for them. But, we've seen a couple of these teams battle it out for, that spot to really break through. And, Cal's kind of slipped up. Cal Poly didn't really follow up on their strong season. Stanford's not been able to get over the hump. San Diego now is maybe ascending, but they weren't able to do it. I mean, Sacramento State's been around, UCLA. So, most of the teams are competitive, but who's it going to be this time? Well, I think we might be seeing 2 playoff appearances here. How about number 8 versus number 6, 2 11-1 teams, Sacramento State versus Stanford. 2 11-1 squads in the top 10. And look at Sacramento State. Their average margin of victory was 30 points over the season. That is insane. They were dominating schools. And, well, they're not dominating this game right now. It's Stanford is got a tie game, but their defense is reeling right now as Sacramento State's in a goal-to-go situation. As from the 6, throwing back of the end zone, touchdown. And we got ourselves a pretty high-scoring game. 38-31 is Stanford with the football. With 8 minutes to go, down by a touchdown, 3rd and 12. Don't want to go 3 and out here, but quarterback rolling, throwing, and right at the marker, he makes the grab and gets a couple extra yards. And they move the chains. 7 minutes to go. 2 guys got in on the sack. And now it's 3rd and 18 as they got another 3rd down conversion. Yes, they do. Broken tackle and a big gain. 2 big 3rd down conversions for Stanford as they are going to not get a 3rd down conversion on this play. But how about a 4th down conversion? 4th and 5 from the 30. Converted. Again, 3 big conversions for Stanford. And now they're at the 11-yard line. Open. He's down to the 3 as they are going to be on their way to tie in this game with a touchdown. Stanford with a heck of a drive and to make big plays in clutch situations. 38-38 is your score. Sacramento State. I mean, this might be the most pivotal game so far, because if Sacramento State loses this game and can't make the playoffs, I mean, this is a team that has an average margin of victory of 30 points a game. If any team other than USC is equipped to maybe go on a run, I think it's this one that has been flat dominating all season. So 1:40 to play. They're going to step up, throw it over the middle. Running backs got it for a gain of 9. 2nd down and 1 as they're going to check it down, beating the blitz, and inside the opponent 40-yard line. They're right around that field goal range. 30 seconds to play. Read option. He's got a nice little block there and gets room to get into field goal range. It's under 50 yards from here, and on 4th down and 2, they will kick it from 47. The kick is good, and Stanford's got 18 seconds to play. Throw it outside. Pass is caught. 1st down and 10, but they're out of time outside to spike it. 8 seconds to go, and he's sacked. And the game for Stanford is gonna be over. How about another conference championship loss for Stanford at the very end? 41-38 is your final, and Sacramento State will hang on to go to the playoffs. Stanford will be in as well, and how are they facing Michigan? It's Michigan every time. We're going to stick with Sacramento State, though. Conference champions in their 1st round matchup, where they are the favorites. 12-1 at home, taking on a 10-3 Clemson squad. So, like I said, if this team of any of the other teams, the non-USC teams, is equipped to go on a run, I think it might be this one. They've been dominant. They have high-end, high-caliber players. I think they got stars everywhere, as this is a really strong squad. and we'll see if they can be the ones as they hand off right up the middle's got the first down. They're already up by 2 scores. They can extend their lead, and they're looking like they're going to it, a goal-to-go situation from the 4, handing it off, and it's going to be stopped for 3rd and goal. Now they're going to go with a quick pass, and it's not going to get in. 4th and goal from the 2. How about going for it? I like the call. Maybe not so much the run, and Clemson will stop them. So maybe still got a chance in this one as Clemson fires it down the field incomplete. Well, now you're at 4th down and 6. You could go 4 and out pretty quickly here, and you are going to hit as you're throwing. Sacramento State can end it here. Passes caught, touchdown. And it's 30-14, still a 2-score game, but with 3 minutes to go, not looking likely for Clemson as Sacramento State could be moving on to the 2nd round. Clemson is moving it to the 40-yard line on 3rd down and 8. They're floating it deep up top, one-on-one coverage, incomplete. 4th down and 8, your final chance. And he's going to deliver. What a grab. And that was an insane grab. With 2 minutes to go, Clemson swings it outside, and it will be a touchdown. Broken tackle gets him in, but now the all-important 2-point conversion to make it a 1-score game. He's sacked, and that might be it because the onside kick is going to be scooped up. Sacramento State does what they need to do. 30-20 is your final. And then you go over to see Michigan. Like, Michigan, I feel like, how are they just keep facing one of our teams? It happens a lot. It's weird. But it's 29-21. And Stanford, once again, in a spot where they could get their first playoff win before their first conference championship win. This is crazy. 4 conference championship appearances, and now their 2nd playoff appearances, and no major wins. But they're winning. They got the football now with 7 minutes to play, and this is as good as they've had of an opportunity. I mean, they've had good ones, though, over the years, and they have managed to not be able to bring in victory as they punt the football to Michigan, who's in great field position. They're flowing one over the middle. That's caught, and they're at the 26-yard line. I mean, just chalk it for Stanford if they lose this one, as they're going to try to look for, some sort of revenge after, the last time these two teams faced in the playoffs. It didn't end well for Stanford, but right now, goal to go from the 1, touchdown. Michigan for the tie, 2-point conversion, and it is outside, caught, and in. Stanford, oh boy, we might be down this road again, as they are going to get a first down carry, but we're under 2.5 to go. This is the part where Stanford usually collapses and falls apart and struggles, but we'll see if they can do it this time, as they'll throw it short. Pass is going to be short of the marker, and they'll punt it. Michigan with the football. Okay, maybe some life. Intercepted. It was looking like it was going to be a usual Stanford loss in a close game, but the interception might have turned everything around, as they are going to make Michigan use their timeouts. Clock's running down. Inside the 10, down to the 3, and now goal to go. They could sit down and take a field goal here, and they are not going to. They're going to throw it, and, well, they got the touchdown. Played it a little risky there. You maybe should have just taken the field goal, but hey, it worked out for you. Michigan turns it over. Game over. Stanford finally wins a big game, and they'll be moving on to the 2nd round. So 36-29 your final, and you move on to see Sacramento State. Hey, that 30-plus point margin of victory came in handy there. They've been doing it all season. And how about a massive win of about 28 points there, 44-16, your final. Now we go back to Stanford. They're taking on an undefeated 13-0 Oklahoma State team, and it's a 21-20 game, and they're going to run it in for a touchdown. So Stanford takes the lead, 27-21. Interesting, they didn't go for 2, as that could have made it a full 7-point game, but they just were content taking the extra point, I guess. But Oklahoma State touchdown will give you the lead, I suppose, as they're going to get a 9-yard gain, 3rd down and inches. Handoff, no read option to the outside. First down, Oklahoma State, and they're moving it to the 42-yard line. Passing on 2nd down and 9. Got an open man, and he's all the way down to the 13. Gain of 29. Now we jump to 3rd down, as he's going to go outside. He brings it in and pushed out of bounds, couple of inches short. They're going for it, and they're not going to get it. Stanford with the big stop. That was huge. As now Stanford, no, you can't do that immediately after. It's a safety. You do one good thing and then you do one catastrophically bad thing, because Oklahoma State with the football back, I mean, it's still that they need a touchdown, but you've given them a opportunity to do it again, and they're gonna throw it out of bounds. Okay, 4th and 9. They did punt it, so you got bailed out a little bit by your defense. Now don't mess up your opportunity, as they're gonna get a first down there. Oklahoma State using their timeouts. Under 3 to go. He's gonna get sacked. 3rd down and 14. Oklahoma State out of timeouts as they'll complete that pass. Because of that, you can be right at about the 2-minute warning as you jump ahead to Oklahoma State's possession. 3rd down and 7. Pass is caught. And now you're down to 117. 38-yard line. Need to go 62 yards here as that pass on the outside caught, and they got out of bounds. And they're saving a lot of clock. They're making good progress. But Stanford's defense with the interception. And they are going to actually win a second playoff game. Hey, welcome to the Final Four, Stanford. I don't know after how we watched their first couple of big games go, if we expected that, but guess what that means? Sacramento State versus Stanford, rematch in the semifinals, meaning guaranteed one of our teams that's not USC is going to be in the national championship. Stanford has not been able to win a big game over a conference opponent, and Sacramento State up top. He's going to get tracked down, but a huge gain of 70 yards and a pass in a tie game that could have changed everything. Screen setup is going to be incomplete, so you can't get in the end zone. Brutal. But it will be a field goal good, 27-24. But this is such a massive game. Sacramento State's defense with the interception. And Stanford, are they going to really unravel in another game against their conference opponent? They just can't do it, but a fumble. Oh my goodness, how did they recover that? How did they keep that football? 3rd and 26. As the pressure's coming in, and he gets sacked again. Now Sacramento State's kind of choking because this is a 59-yard field goal. This is crazy, but he hits it. He made that so much more difficult than he needed to, but your kicker's a beast, I guess. 30-24, still a one-score game, but look at that screen! He made one hesitant move, and he's going all the way to the 21-yard line. There's big plays on both sides. Will it be Stanford and all their big losses that they've suffered, and they've been able to overcome that to get to a national title, or will it be the underdog Sacramento State? Touchdown, Stanford! And the extra point will give them a lead. This is a big time battle. This has been a good one so far, as this is a float and pass over the middle. A gain of 17. 2 minutes to go. 31-30 your score as the warning hits, and a pass 4th down and 5 is going to be converted. And you get 2 on 3rd down, but you get way more than you need on 4th down. And Sacramento State, could they do it again? Big run, 48 yards, touchdown. They just broke that one wide open, and a 2-point try for the 7-point lead. It's going to be a broken tackle, and he's in. Stanford, not again. You got a clutch drive in you. Pass is going to be caught. Falling forward for a gain of 8. 3rd down and 2. He's trying to escape. He got by, but nobody wouldn't throw the football. I just guess no one was open. 4th down and 5. Game on the line. He's getting antsy, and he's sacked. Game over. Sacramento State's going to a national championship, and they're taking on Alabama. It's another high-scoring game. 38-33. Their offense, Sacramento State's offense, has been incredible all year, and they have another chance to do it again with another big high-scoring performance. But Alabama, couple of moves, he's gone. 78 yards. Touchdown, Alabama, for the 2-score lead. And now Sacramento State, it's looking like they're going to need like 50 points to win this one. Their defense is letting them down right now. Down by 12 as they'll throw on the run. Pass is caught, but he's short. And Alabama, they punt it. I mean, I guess you can't really go for that far backed up, but Alabama's offense has not showed any signs of slowing down. 6 minutes to go, handoff right up the middle. He's got a lot of room. In Sacramento State, this is their big opportunity, and I don't know if it's going to happen for them, as that's going to be another first down in the red zone. Got to hold them to a field goal here, as you can at least keep it a 2-score game. But their quarterback's got 6 touchdowns on the day. He's going to try to make it 7, and he does! Touchdown, Alabama! And that might be your dagger, as 52-33 is your score. And Sacramento State, I mean, what a season, but I don't think it's going to happen. That's going to be incomplete. 4th down and 7, 3 minutes to play. Blitz sent in, and it's short. Alabama's going to win it. And Sacramento State, that's just so unfortunate. I mean, their defense at the end really let them down. You drop 33 points in a national championship on Alabama. You think you'd be in a good spot, but you still end up losing by 3 scores because their quarterback threw 7 touchdowns on you. So that's just brutal defense. But still, Sacramento State, literally 10 years, they make a national championship. That is impressive. And they are really solidifying themselves as like not just a flash in the pan type of team. They are like a legit team. I mean, like, look at the great players they have. And I just feel like every single time they got all the statistical leaders. I know they play more games because they made the national championship and everything, but like even in the seasons where they're not playing 16, 17 games, look at this draft class. This is ridiculous. They just sent like 6 guys in the first round. I mean, USC, that's a great draft class, and it got showed up by Sacramento State. Who is developing there at Sacramento State? Who are they doing things legally there? That is insane development from them. Great stuff from them. I mean, but you can see it's not happening with every team because San Diego, Cal Poly, UC Davis, these other schools, it's not happening for them. It's just Sacramento State just has everything going their way, except for this season, I suppose, because they're at 9-3. Not ranked. I mean, they just lost like their whole squad, so I'm not surprised. But USC taking on San Diego, and I think USC might be back 11-1 on the season and a dominant conference championship victory. You had a couple of years to try to catch them, and even though Sacramento State got close, I think USC's trying to pull back away. Conference championship victory, another one on the board for them. A playoff appearance, as they are not going to get a first round bye, but they will be taking on the defending champs, Alabama. So 17-18 is your score. Alabama obviously dominating Sacramento State offensively, but not so much this time. USC, can they get the job done against Alabama? They throw a pick. Bama with a 1-point lead, and now ball in great spot on the field. Quick pass to the outside, caught, and if you see number 15 there on that play for USC's defense, I don't know why he's starting. That was a pretty impressive play reaction from him. Hey, some say he's still trying to figure out if it is indeed a run, a pass, or an option, but he'll eventually figure it out, as the fake pitch there is not going to get them anything, as you probably should have pitched it. 4th down and 5. Alabama actually going for it, and it doesn't work out. That's a bold call. A 50-yard field goal. I mean, that's not easy, but it's makeable, I guess, unless they just don't have a kicker. But Alabama, I mean, I guess they wanted to go for, the full touchdown, the 8-point lead that you could have had there. Maybe you go for 2, make it a 2-score game. That would have been interesting. But instead, they're going to be up by only 1. USC, they're going to throw on 3rd down and 6, and he's sacked. There's 3 minutes to go. They punt it. So defense, you got a big play and you 3rd down and 1. Converted. Alabama, one more first down will do it. 3rd down and 2. And he's not going to get there. 4th and inches. They punt it. I would have went for it on 4th and inches for the game. But Alabama's getting another sack. It's backed up. 1 minute to play. 2nd and 19. But they convert. And a huge conversion as it's from the 42. Now you're in field goal range. 2 massive plays. And Alabama does not know what hit them. I think a couple of bad 4th down decisions might have costed them. They're going to get a sack, as I think is USC's quarterback hurt. They're not giving him an injury timeout. You have no timeouts. You have to rush the field goal unit on the field, but your quarterback's hurt. And they couldn't get the field goal off. They're going to lose. What? I mean, he looked hurt. I mean, maybe the refs are like, nah, you're not getting a free timeout by faking an injury. The quarterback just trying to fake an injury to get a free timeout, and they weren't buying it. What just happened there? They lost that game. I mean, 16 seconds to rush your field goal unit out. It's not a lot of time, but you still had the chance. But I guess they wanted to go for the fake injury timeout. I don't know what that was, but they're gonna lose the game because of it. I guess they tried to pull a fast one and it didn't work. So It is what it is. USC takes the loss there, and maybe keeps things somewhat close for maybe a team like Sacramento State to pull in, because I think they are the hopes to try to take down USC. And USC didn't lose that much. I mean, 3 players go to the NFL, have an okay recruiting class. UCLA actually is the one who does the best there with the 18th class, 8 4-stars and 20 overall players. But then you look at the portal, Cal Poly, nice job. Sacramento State, 11 players in the portal. So some good stuff there, and USC being 3rd in both for the conference. But yeah, I think, because of the fact that they didn't lose much, yeah, how about a 99 overall defense, an undefeated record, the number 1 ranking in the country, and now taking on Sacramento State in the conference championship. I mean, USC's in the playoffs regardless, but for Sacramento State, they need to win this game, because if they win, they can get into the playoffs, and they can at least have a chance to stop this USC team, because you let USC get another conference championship on the board and be the only team in the playoffs. I think they might start to really solidify themselves as the clear-cut number 1 team, because I still feel like it is, possible for a team like Sacramento State. I think, 2 national championship appearances and a win, if they are able to do that, could be enough to maybe sway some of the people in their favor, especially with the degree of difficulty that they've had to work with, as they're going to get sacked here. I mean, they're down by 8. They're going to take the field goal, so it will make sure that they don't have to go for a 2-point conversion to try to tie it up. So, I mean, 5-point game, defense up to you now, under 5 to go, as they are going to throw over the middle, wide open receiver. No one was even near him. Now USC moving it into enemy territory. Screen set up, got the block, lot of room, and he will get to a 3rd down and 2, under 4 to play. And they're stepping up. They're going to run it, and he had no spy on him, and that's going to be a 1st down to the 22-yard line. And he cannot allow them to put this ball in the end zone. Got to hold them to a field goal. Keep it a 1-score game. There's 8 there. Get 2 on the next play. 3rd and inches. As I'm going to go with the slant. It's caught. I feel like he had a chance to break up that one, but they're not going to. And the touchdown for USC. This might be USC's unstoppable year. 12-0 with a 99 overall defense. And, I mean, even though their season margin, point-wise, wasn't as dominant as Sacramento State's that one year they made the national championship, winning by an average about 25 a game is still highly impressive with this squad, as Sacramento State floating one for the end zone. It's going to be intercepted. Game over. USC cruises the 13-0. Holds off Sacramento State, and will be going to a 1st-round bye in the playoffs. So that's already rough, and, there's your 1st-round bye. They actually go down to the number 2 seed, and they're going to take home some awards. Interestingly enough, Dan Lanning's the coach there, which, cool, I guess. I don't know how Oregon fans or USC fans would feel about that, but it is what it is. They're taking on Georgia, as it's 14-14, and Georgia 3 losses on the season, but they are here, number 10 seed, 1st-round victory, 4th down and 2. USC in a tie game goes for it and gets it. Nice job, as it's a bold call, as they'll run the football right up the middle, and USC in scoring range from the 23-yard line, and pressure comes in, sacked. All right, back them up. It'll still be a makeable field goal from here, as they'll throw to the outside. And maybe they're going to try to go for that 1st down as they get 12. Go to 3rd and 6. He's going to run it. Does he have enough? No, not quite. 4th and 2. They kick the field goal here, and they are on top by 3 as Georgia takes over. Pass over the middle. Caught. And that'll be the 34-yard line. Now they lose 4 on 2nd down, but how about floating this one up top into double coverage? I didn't know what you thought was going to happen with that one. Intercepted, and about as easy of a pick as it gets, as they just floated that one up there for him. And now USC with the ball and in scoring position. You get a touchdown here. Might be all over, but Georgia's going to get the stop. Force a 51-yard field goal try, and it is good. So Georgia, touchdown, can maybe win the game here, but no field goal going to be available to them. 2-minute warning has hit. Georgia now down to 1:30 with 2 timeouts, and they're getting sacked. Pressure got in. 4th and 10. Game on the line. Throwing it deep. 1-on-1. Incomplete. Georgia is going to have to pray that they can get something to go their way here, as that pass down the middle, incomplete. interesting, but if you hit this field goal, it's over basically. So kick is good, and that will end it. I mean, interesting for USC to take a deep shot there, but yeah, USC did what they needed to do, kicked that field goal, got it in. 3 field goals in the fourth quarter enough, and now taking on Miami in the semifinals. So could you go to a perfect 16-0 season? You go 16-0 with everything that you've been able to do this season, I think it's over. I mean, you're not going to be able to overcome 2 national championships. So Miami, are you going to be able to stop them from making that appearance? They are winning this game, so 8 minutes to play. But USC with the ball and a great strike to get them 20 and down to the 12-yard line. Gain of 3 on first down, and then on second down, how about a gain of 2? And you got it to third down and 5. Running back going to not get there. And now they're going to go for it. They're going to hand it off, and Miami with the stop. They could have kicked it. I don't blame them for going for it, as their running back, they gave it to him like every play, and he just wasn't able to get the job done. And now Miami, they have the ball, and they got the lead, and they are running it well. Under 5 to go. Quick pass. Is he going to go all the way? One slant route, turning it upfield. Touchdown. He took that ball and just never looked back. And now USC down by 2 scores, as they could let this undefeated season slip away. Now under 4 minutes to go. Pass down the field, tipped, almost picked. 4th down and 9, and your game could be on the line here, as they're gonna complete it. No, it got knocked out at the last second. And Miami's got it back, and this one could be all over. As how about getting another one to pat on top of it? Yeah, just for good measure, touchdown Miami, and that will do it. So USC in maybe the best chance that you were gonna have to win another national championship. I mean, there is a couple more years, so I guess that maybe we don't know for sure that this will be their best chance, but you get a 99 overall defense and an undefeated season. I don't know how much better it's going to get for you there. I don't know. Can't go better than a 99 defense, as that was it for them, but not able to get the job done, even though their running back also was nuts. 1,700 yards and 20 touchdowns. So, I mean, not only did you have a great defense, you had a great running back, and it just was not enough. And now, I mean, even though, look at that Stanford defender, 21 sacks in 13 games. Are you serious? Dude was insane. Don't know how he didn't, like, win a billion awards there, but USC is going to lose a couple of nice players. Go down to 78th in recruiting, even though Sacramento State, 29th. But, you know, USC, did they make it up in the portal? A little bit. 42nd. Sacramento State, though, 18th in the portal. So overall, maybe the best recruiting season was from Sacramento State, and maybe that can catapult them. They do get into the conference championship again, but they're taking on USC again, and USC hasn't lost much in the conference championship. So we'll see if they can go back at it, and, you know, Sacramento State maybe spoil USC's season and chance at a potential first round bye, maybe try to slide themselves into the playoff mix, as it's 27-20. So USC down in this one. Sacramento State with the ball, with the lead, and a run is going to get them first down yardage. Now they're going to go with a screen to the outside, and yeah, they didn't get really much there for blocking. You're going to get back to the line of scrimmage at least, as now they go with the speed option. Can't even get the pitch off. Loses 5. They'll punt it. And USC, they got to go and get the tie out there, as I think this is about as must-win maybe as it gets for Sacramento State, because maybe you have a chance at the playoffs if you can slide into that 12 seed. And USC, I don't think they're going to be knocked out of the playoffs, but to get a conference championship over them and to give yourself a chance in the playoffs, this is pretty must-win for them if they're going to have a chance to outdo them, as they're going to get sacked. I mean, they at least got the stop, but 2nd and 15 with 5 minutes to play underneath. You're going to get the sack yardage back and then get 3 more. 3rd down and 7. As a big conversion here underneath. He's got it. All right, run a little bit more time off that clock, as if you can get the 2-score lead, I feel pretty confident in your chances, as they're going to get a short pass to 3rd down and 6. 3 minutes to go, as he's going to throw over the middle, incomplete. You wouldn't have gotten the first anyway. Ball goes back to USC, and they have plenty of time, all their timeouts, but it's 3rd and 8 already, as they'll drop screen outside. He's got 1 man in the open field, and he couldn't make a miss. It's 4th and 4. 2 minutes to play. Big 4th down conversion. He's going for a shot deep. He's got a step. It's caught. And brought in USC. Gonna have their chance to tie this game up. Surprisingly, I don't think we've had a single overtime game this video, and we might have one here. Touchdown USC. 27-27 is your score with the extra point with 1:20 to go. Sacramento State, don't panic. You still have a chance, but you're running for a loss of 2. Jump to 3rd down and 9 with 45 seconds to play, and it's incomplete. You're going to have to punt it, and USC has good field position with 37 seconds to go. Screen is going to get a short gain of 5. 24 seconds to go. Got to try to hold for overtime, and they'll get the first down to about midfield. 19 seconds to go. One timeout for USC. He's got it. Caught for a gain of 8. 15 seconds to go. USC out of timeouts. He's going to throw it. Deep middle, incomplete. 3rd down and 2. They're going to just try it from here. 58-yard field goal try. Kick is good. Oh my goodness, the kick is good. USC survives and wins the game. Man, I mean, Sacramento State had it. They just could not seal the deal in the end. And USC's not going to even get a first-round bye out of it. They're going to just stay the 6th seed. Thing is, though, they're going to be in a 2-score deficit, down by 13 in the 4th quarter. USC going to need a comeback if you're going to want to win this playoff game. As it's 3rd down and 11. Pass outside. Caught. He hung on to that one. 8 minutes to play. As they're going to get sacked. All right, 3rd down and 16. Got a long way to go on this one. And he's going to get hit as he's throwing. 4th and 16. They punt it. Can't blame them, even though they're down by 2 scores. They're going to trust their defense, and they are in a spot to go and get a 3 and out. And they are not going to get it. And this one, not looking good, as it's 6.5 to go. Still plenty of time, but with the way things are going, and another great completion there, flipping the field. The field position battle isn't even going to be in USC's favor now, as they're going to have a check down the outside, breaking 2 tackles. He'll get 8. 3rd down and 2, 5.5 to go. He'll keep it. He's got the first down, but he fumbles the football. USC scoops it up. He tried to do too much, and he's gonna go all the way. Touchdown. USC with the biggest break they could have possibly gotten. A scoop and score in that scenario when Ohio State was well on their way to, at the very least, getting a field goal, running clock. And, I mean, now USC with momentum and a sack. 3rd down and 22 with 4.5 to play. He's going to step up. He's going to throw. It's going to be incomplete. And USC with the ball in a 6-point game with 4 minutes to play. And a wide open receiver caught inside enemy territory to the 44-yard line. As they will go play action again. Pass is going to be caught for another first down. 33-yard line. He's going to look. He's going to get sacked. All right, 2nd down and 15, under 3 to go. As he's looking, he's throwing outside, caught for a gain of 7. 3rd down and 8 from the 32. He's going to take a shot deep in the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! USC is on top, 24-23. And how has Ohio State let this happen? 2-minute warning, 3rd down and 6. And a completed pass. They just need to get into field goal range. 1:25 to play as they'll go outside. Caught for a gain of 2, but it's 3rd down. And he'll step up and throw it. Down the field, incomplete. I was in double coverage. 4th down and 6. Your game on the line here as Ohio State got the first down, gets a block, and they will get to right at midfield. Timeout being used. As they'll throw over the middle, caught again. There you go. First down from the 37 as they'll go with a 5-yard completion. Timeout for Ohio State due to an injury. 3rd down and 5. Over the middle, another first down. And Ohio State is in perfect position to win this game. Pass is incomplete. 22 seconds to go, but you're in chip shot field goal range. Dump it off. Play it safe. And kick yourself a chip shot field goal from 26. Kick is no good. Are you serious? No good on the 26-yard field goal for the win. USC, how many times were you going to get bailed out in that game? They just got handed the victory. Ohio State with an almighty level of choking. but I don't know if you're going to be able to get it to happen again against Penn State. 35-24, so another 2-score deficit. Can they overcome this one? It's going to happen. They're going to need to get a stop here, and right now it's 3rd down and 11, so Penn State just going to take the check down, and they'll basically concede possession, so USC will have at least a chance as they'll run the football, and they'll be already in pretty good field position with an 8-yard gain, 42-yard line as they'll throw, but the pressure got in. Sack, and difference in pressure between these two teams. 6 sacks for Penn State, make it 7. Only 1 for USC. 4th and 14, and he's just going to throw it deep. 1-on-1, knocked away. And Penn State, a touchdown, probably ends us when a field goal keeps it alive. But it's 4th down, so will be a potential field goal try if they wanted it, but they didn't. I commend them going for it there. That's a pretty bold decision that I like to see, and it's paying off as they're going to at the very least run more clock off as 2nd down and 3 turns to 3rd down and 5. 3:30 to play. Pop pass, and nope, no, it's a loss of 3, so not going to go for it this time around, but you at least got to run a little bit more time off the clock, make it a 14-point game, 3 minutes to go. And that's going to be a run. It's a good one, too, as he will go all the way down for a 20-yard gain. 2:30 to play in this one, as he will throw underneath. 1st down in enemy territory. 2-minute warning approaching. Still got all your timeouts. Would like to hold on to those, as you were going to run through a defender, get the 1st down, go down to the 2-minute warning. 3rd down and 9's the situation with 1:40 to play. Pass is caught. 4th and 4, though, the situation. From the 30, game on the line, caught for the 1st down, so USC keeping it going, but issue is you've used the timeout, so you need to get an onside kick, you score! But yep, this is the onside kick that you need to get if you're going to have a chance in this one, and the kick is going to be scooped up by Penn State, which basically means it's about to be game over if they get this 1st down, as they will, and Penn State is able to shut the door on that one. A victory for Penn State, as USC, I mean, maybe they shouldn't even have been here because of how that Ohio State game unfolded, but they weren't able to capitalize beyond that, and they're going to go down, and now we're down to the final 2 years, and I mean, once again, I will just say, impressive that Sacramento State just has all the statistical leaders. I feel like their quarterback has the most passing yards every single season, no matter who is their quarterback. It's just incredible every single time. So they're going to go to the offseason, and with just a little bit of time to go, Sacramento State's going to send 4 players to the NFL. Stanford's going to send 5 all in day 3. USC and UCLA, I mean, not really much for UCLA, but USC, yeah, another like dozen players for them. But Sacramento State, how about a 5-star? That's pretty good. I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot in terms of 5 stars being picked up by these schools, but nice to still see one, and seeing one go to Sacramento State. USC, not a great class on either side, so we've already seen instances where they lose a lot of players, don't get a great recruiting class to come back, and even though a 10-2 season's pretty nice, no conference championship, 15th in the country, so no playoffs for them. And for the 2 teams in the conference championship, UCLA, Sacramento State, I don't know if they're going to be making the playoffs if they win. Definitely, it's going to be questionable for UCLA, who's number 20th in the country. If you win, maybe you can slide in. Sacramento State has definitely a better chance at 16. But right now, it's UCLA on top, 20-13 your score. As that pass thrown right at a defender. And Sacramento State with the football. And can they get another conference championship on their resume, as this is going to be a run for a loss of 1. 3rd down and 11. Pass is going to be not thrown because he gets sacked, and UCLA takes it back over with 8 to go. Pass is going to be for a gain of 8, and now we go to 3rd down and inches, as they're going to get stopped as he tried to fight forward, and he got back to, you know, it's just a 2-yard loss, but still not going to get that 1st down, obviously. Meanwhile, UCLA is racking up sacks on defense, and their passing defense is going to get the job done. So a couple of possessions being traded by these 2 schools, and you know, if UCLA can maybe find themselves into field goal range, this game could be theirs to win, as they'll throw to the outside. Pass is going to be for a short gain, 3rd down and 3. Pass underneath. How about another short gain? But this one will be enough for a 1st down. Now they're in enemy territory. 4 minutes to go. As the play action, he's going to get the football up, but it's too low. Pressure affected that throw for sure. 3rd down and 7. And that pass incomplete. It'd be a 59-yarder. They're not going to try it. They'll punt it. 3 minutes to go for Sacramento State. My goodness, I mean, Sacramento State has no sacks, UCLA has 5, and that's been the difference right now, is they get the football back with a chance to run out the clock. Sacramento State, they're using their timeouts, 3rd down and 14, game on the line, he breaks the tackle, he's caught the first. And even though it's going to take another first down, that definitely hurts their chances quite a lot. And they are going to get the stop. But, I mean, you're down to 30 seconds. And UCLA, for some reason, they go for it and they don't get it. What is UCLA doing? You punt that football, you give them 30 seconds with no timeouts to go to the length of the field. Going for it, I mean, you don't really get much for it, but right now you can still get bailed out. Defense got 17 seconds, 4th down, passes caught, and now they're inside the 40-yard line. They're down to no timeouts, like I said, but they got to spike this football. 12, 11, 10, spike it. And they got 10 seconds, so maybe make 2 shots at the end zone. And they won't take a shot to the end zone. They'll take a shot over the middle. And it would have been okay if they got the first down, but they're a yard shy. And they're going to get the snap off of 1 second. Pass right down the middle, incomplete. And the game is over. UCLA with the victory. And I think it's been a while since we've really seen them competing for that conference championship and winning it, but they are here, and they did make the playoffs at the 17 spot, and they did get returner of the year, so, you know, it's not going to go well for them, though, as Tennessee takes care of business. How about 40-12 your finals? So, they haven't had a whole lot of blowouts this video, I feel like. I think I've had, what, like 2 conference championship blowouts, and maybe like 2 or 3 playoff blowouts. So, I mean, they haven't had to skip many games, but that one of them, which means we are going to be on to the final year. Year 15, one more chance for somebody to do something here. We have 1 national championship on the board for USC, 1 national championship appearance on the board for Sacramento State, couple of Final Fours, couple of playoff victories for a couple of schools, and, you know, I think we've had, what, 4 different teams win a conference championship, because Stanford hasn't. We've had, what, USC, Cal, Sacramento State, Cal Poly. I think that's it, probably, something like that. UCLA. Yeah, we've had 5 different teams win a conference championship. And in this conference title game, how about Sacramento State? I was really hyping up their 30 points of margin of victory the year they made the national championship. Well, how about this season? 34 points margin of victory. Rematch against UCLA in the conference championship, and it is a dominant victory. Like I said, 34 points margin of victory. Well, you win by 33 in the conference title. You're undefeated at 13-0, and they might be able to go on a run here. Somehow, some way, that's still only enough for the 7 spot. Like, you don't get a first-round bye. I mean, what do you even need to do? That's crazy disrespect. They're taking on Oklahoma, though, in the first round of the playoffs. Says this would be massive if they go and win a national championship here, because then maybe a discussion can be had, as they're going to throw an interception. So Oklahoma down by 14, but they do get the interception. They will have about 8 minutes to play, and first down for Oklahoma. Pass up top. That's a beautiful throw and catch. 2 defenders there, and no one could even get a hand on that one as the run. It's going to be a broken tackle. About a nice 8-yard run, but it's 4th down and 1. Running on 3rd and 9. Didn't really work out for them, but running on 4th and 1 did get them the first down. How about 7 minutes to play, and a sack comes in. Sacramento State backs them up. 3rd down and 14. Just over 6 minutes to play. He's going to launch one. Deep. Incomplete. And they're backed up to 4th and 14. Don't really have much of a chance if you can't get this one, but they do. And a big conversion to keep their hopes alive as they're rolling left. He's going to throw on the run into the end zone. Intercepted. Tried to do a little too much. And a 14-point deficit with just over 5.5 to play. We jump ahead to where the clock has been run. I mean, look at the broken tackle, the power, and now the speed. Does he have enough? Not quite, but he gets all the way down to the 9-yard line, and they are going to be able to run the clock out a little bit more. Even if they don't get in the end zone here, it'll be a field goal try, and as long as you hit this one, it is game over. 3-score lead. Sacramento State is going to be on their way. But how about Oklahoma getting a touchdown here with just under 2 minutes to go? Maybe you get a faint chance. Onside kick gonna be recovered by Sacramento State from about midfield. He breaks 2 tackles, and look at him go on the onside kick. One man to beat. Is he gonna take it all the way? No, down to the 7-yard line. We'll just watch an onside kick recovered for a touchdown. They go a touchdown immediately though after, and they'll win that one. So a little fun end there, but now on to the second round, taking on Miami. 12-1 on the season for Miami as they could find themselves in a Final Four appearance. Sacramento State up by 6, but Miami with the ball. Third down and the screen outside. Look at the blocking, setting up nicely, and he'll get the first into the red zone as they'll go with a fake pop pass and run it inside with a big lane opening up. Touchdown! He didn't even get touched by a single defender, and Miami's got the lead. Now you go with a big pass to the outside, and now will he go all the way? He's being tracked down. One man to beat inside the 10 and down to the 8. Goal to go, and just like that, they respond with a touchdown of their own, and a great job not to let that score from Miami to take the lead phase them. They get the 2-point conversion as well, up by 7, and Miami got another big play in you to try to get back on a spot where he can win this game. 5 minutes to play as they'll go underneath. 2nd down and 6 turns to 3rd down and 6 as they will throw down the field. Almost picked. 2 guys had a chance at it. No one ended up with this. So Sacramento State with the football back end. They're going to be able to get into enemy territory, and a field goal here would go a long way to try to seal this one up. It'll be 4th down. They punt it. Not going to try the super long field goal. And now Miami with the ball back. Under 3 minutes to play now. Clock running. And they need to go 62 yards for the tie. Gonna throw one short, and he'll turn it upfield for a gain of 8. We're at the 2-minute warning. So they're taking their time on this drive. That pass, 4th and inches. That's really close, but they'll run it. And he's got the first down. They don't need to rush necessarily. 50 yards in a minute 20 is doable, especially if you get one big play. But you tried to go for the big play, and you failed. And you threw the pick. You threw it into double coverage. And Miami's going to go down. Sacramento State onto a Final Four. The late push on maybe their best team yet, taking on Oregon. We haven't seen much of Oregon in this video. I think just only 2 other games against them. But Sacramento State's down by 11, and Oregon's got the football. So under 9 to go. Screen outside. He's got the catch. He's got a first down and more. And they are looking rough right now. If you're already down by 11 and they have the ball now in your territory, another situation where, you know, no more than a field goal, but they're going to try to go for it all in this play. It's incomplete. He had that in his hands, and they forced the punt. So now Sacramento State with the football back, and they will get to the 34-yard line. Now 1st and 10. Clock ticking under 7. In the face of pressure, delivers a first down completion. Nice job. As they go 2nd and 6, pass outside on the screen, and he's going to fight ahead for the first down. All right, nice job. And got plenty of time right now. Still all your timeouts. Just need at least a field goal on this drive. You'd like the touchdown first, obviously, but you're doing well. 27-yard line. Stepping up and throwing. Contested but caught at the 11 now. As he'll throw over the middle, down to the 1. And with 3.5 to go, for the deficit to be cut down. He's got it for the touchdown. And you go for 2. And the screen, maybe didn't expect that one. They got it. 24-21. And now Oregon, they're going to have to try to run out this clock. Sacramento State using their timeouts. 3rd down and 1. He's going to get stopped. Stonewalled. And Sacramento State's got 2 minutes and 1 timeout to go and see if they can at least tie this game. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. He's reaching. He got it. They gave it to him. I don't know. With some of the close calls that we've had, that one didn't seem as clear cut. They gave it to him, and it's 3rd down and 5. Once again, 60 seconds to play. He's going to get brought down for just a gain of 1. 4th and 4. 48 seconds to go. Pass. It's brought in. How did he hang on to that one? As Sacramento State with the drag underneath. Caught at the 30-yard line. They're in field goal range. Now maybe thinking about the win. But they're going to, run this clock down a little bit because you're out of timeouts. 3rd down and 6. 25 seconds. You're hurrying it back to the line. 25 yards out. Throwing. As they're going to just check it down. He's got the first. All right, maybe he can go for a shot, but they're not going to. They run it up, spike it, kick the field goal. And crazily enough, it took us till literally potentially our final game, but we have overtime. That's maybe like the longest I've went in one of these videos without an overtime game. Look at that, though. 24-24 as they'll throw down the field. Caught to the 6-yard line. Goal to go from the 4. Handoff. He's stopped right at the 1, right like the inch-yard line, but he'll get it in this time. Oregon scores. Sacramento State needs to respond as they're going to step up. He's going to run for it. He's going to get the first down and more. Sliding down at the 11-yard line. Now they're going to go for 1st and 10. He's going to get sacked this time around. So now 16 yards out on 3rd down and 16. It's basically goal to go. And he got it right up the seam. Touchdown. Tie it up. We're on to 2nd overtime as they will run it but lose yards. 2nd and 14. Throwing. He's going to go outside, caught, and fighting ahead. It's 3rd and inches. Could run it here, but they're going to throw. They got it. Quick pass for the 1st. And now they're at the 9. Goal to go. Outside. RPO intercepted. Oregon has stolen the football away and might be able to pull this one off. Just get a field goal. Don't let anything catastrophic happen. And they're going to win this game as they are going to drop and throw. Sacramento State obviously going to blitz, send pressure, try to get them backed up, force the sack. It's a 48-yard field goal. Kick for the win, and it is good. And even though they had a really good team and a really good chance, it is all over for Sacramento State as it is a loss in the Final Four to Oregon. Unfortunate. I thought that was maybe the team that could have got it done. They saved their best for last, potentially, as in terms of how talented of a team, because when I tell you this was a talented as heck team, I mean, you're going to see how many players they sent to the NFL. I mean, they had that one year where they sent like 6 guys in the 1st round, but they sent a bunch of guys to the NFL this time around as well. But now we get on to that final part of the video, the part where we determine who the best team was and what all these teams are able to accomplish. And it's going to be done a little bit differently because I just have so many more things to show you guys. As you can see, big class here from Sacramento State. I mean, look at how many guys, like a dozen guys of the NFL. But like I said, I'm going to do this a little bit differently just because I can't, tier them off and fit all that info into, one big graphic. So we're going to be breaking them down team by team, and I'll go 11-1 on where these teams ranked and everything that they were able to accomplish. Also, just to show you guys, because some people always ask, like, who wins the national championships every year? Who wins the Heisman every year? So, I thought, like, in videos like these, I'd show this at the very end just so you guys can see who wins it at the end and if you get anything crazy happening. So these are all the Heisman winners. You get a guy from Rice, a guy from Louisiana Tech. Ohio State won 4 in a row at one point, and then also Dylan Raiola and Rocco Beck end up transferring to Clemson and win Heisman. So here is number 11, UC Davis. So here are all the extra stats that we have for you. Their win-loss record, conference championships, bowls, playoff appearances, All-Americans, awards, 4-star prospects, 5-star prospects, average recruiting rank, average transfer portal ranking, Day 1 draft selections, Day 2 draft selections, Day 3 draft selections, their average team overall, where their offenses and defenses ranked and how many yards they got per game. I hope that all will make sense to you guys and everything's pretty clear cut. But UC Davis, if I was ranking the teams, they came in last. There was a pretty clear bottom 3, but going and having, no bowl wins, no award winners, no one in the first 3 rounds of the draft, the worst defense in the entire conference throughout the time, and the worst team overall without ever getting a premium prospect. They were pretty clearly fighting for the bottom. One of the other teams fighting at the bottom, 10th, San Diego State, had one less win. They did make an extra bowl game, didn't win any. I guess what gave them the slight nod is the fact that they, I believe, had the punter of the year 1 year, so at least it's an All-American and an award, and their defense was slightly better, and their team overall was slightly better, but similarly, though, like really bad results. And third team that they were really fighting with, if I were tiering these teams, these bottom 3 teams, I mean, San Jose State, worst overall record at 57-126, but they did get the nod because they won a bowl game. They had an All-American. They did have at least someone selected in top 3 rounds, but they were the worst overall recruiting team, and they were just really poor. I mean, definitely didn't go the same way as my San Jose State dynasty from last year. So, yeah, not quite as successful for them. Taking a small step up, you get Fresno State. They won 67 games, won a bowl game, made 3 bowl appearances, and overall, I mean, they did end up having a first-round draft selection. Their team overall was 68. Even though I will say, I will preface with, like, the team overall does feel a little deceptive at times, but you know, I just still wanted to include as much info as possible for you guys, and they ended up with 2 4-star prospects. So, I mean, not great for them either, but definitely, you know, a slight step ahead of the teams that were clearly at the bottom. Also, if you really, like, if I'm going through this somehow too fast for you guys, then maybe you can, you know, pause and look at the stats if you want to, but I feel like I'm doing this at a reasonable speed for you. Take another little step up. 7th is Cal Poly, who goes up to 81 wins and was a really weird team. They had consistently the worst offense of any of the teams that we had. 98th was their average offensive rank. And I mean, while their portal and recruiting rank wasn't awful, I mean, it's just weird that one year they go sneak into a conference championship, steal it, win it. Maybe you're thinking, oh, they can do something with that. They can get some upward momentum, positive trajectory. No, they never made it back. They only ever made 4 bowl games. They didn't really do much. They just had one year that was more so that flash in the pan type of year, whereas, you know, a team like Sacramento State was more sustained. So, you know, sometimes it just happens where someone has a good year, but they aren't able to sustain it. And that leads us to a team like San Diego, who ended up having a pretty nice record overall. So out of the 11 teams in the conference, 6 of them had winning records throughout that time. So, you know, more had winning records than not. 109 wins. They made 2 conference championships, lost them both, but still made 10 bowl games throughout their time. Like, they were a pretty nice team. Like, if this was the results of a team who came up from the FCS level to the FBS and this was their first 15 years, like, you wouldn't say that's all that bad. I mean, a winning record, 10 bowl appearances, 4 bowl wins, 2 conference championship appearances, 2 All-Americans, an award winner, a couple of guys selected in the draft. I mean, that's not bad at all. I mean, they were just a middle of the pack, solid team. Then you get a team that started pretty hot early on in Cal, coming in at 5th, who they won 2 conference championships in a row, and I think like the first 5 years, they were like really looking like they were going to be able to do something. They made the playoffs. They won a playoff game. I mean, I thought they were really on track to be a true contender, but then they just kind of tapered off and didn't really do the same the rest of the way. They still ended up winning 126 games, making 10 bowl games, having a decent amount of recruiting success, a couple of 5 stars, a lot of 4 stars, sent 1 player the first round, a couple of All-Americans, a couple of award winners. I mean, they did a good job overall, but it really felt like they were going to do more once you watched that first third of the video, and they thought they were going to really break through, but they just weren't able to do that. And speaking of teams that couldn't really break out, Stanford comes in 4th. They had 132 wins and a frustrating 0-4 in conference championships, and a couple that really just slipped away. They ended up making 10 bowl games, winning 5 of them. Playoffs, they, you know, had that first playoff game that really, you know, didn't go their way, and they choked it away at the end. But then they had another playoff run where they got to the semifinals, and that turned out to just be their peak. You know, they still had a lot of success elsewhere, though. Sent 22 total players to the NFL, had consistently, on average, one of the higher rated teams, and I mean, defensively, 37th in the country on average, not bad. They were a pretty nice team. It's just they were like the definition of could not get like into that next level, could not break into that next tier. Number 3, I didn't really know what to do with these guys. So UCLA, despite winning 143 games, which is basically on average about 9 wins a year, and making a bowl or playoff appearance in every single season, they didn't win a single playoff game. So, like, maybe you could say, oh, Stanford should be ahead of them, but I gave UCLA the nod. More overall wins, 3 conference championships, 10 bowl victories, more All-Americans. They were the number 1 team when it came to recruiting. That's going to be, you know, the highlight there. The gold is going to be, you know, where you came first in a category. They had the number 1 in terms of recruiting, 25th on average, and sent a lot of players to the NFL. I thought overall they just produced more than Stanford. They just didn't have the playoff wins. But for a team that never won a playoff game, this is about as good of a resume as you can have. Then at number 2, Sacramento State, who was awesome. 161 wins, really impressive. 3 conference championships in 7 appearances, 7 playoff victories. That is really good. And overall, a winning playoff record, 7-4. You made a national championship, and in bowl games, I mean, they were 8-2 in bowl games, which is also, once again, I also think it comes as no surprise when you see that they were the best team offensively consistently throughout. On average, they were the 28th offense, and you have to understand with a team like this too, those first couple of years, I mean, even though by year 2 they were winning record, but like even then their statistics weren't really there, their team overall wasn't really there. I mean, 28th average offense, and there were some years where they were like top 10. They were really doing great on offense, and the stats indicated that for sure. And I thought they were just so good to watch. They were fun to watch. They didn't have an award winner, but 6 All-Americans, a lot of players sent to the NFL for a team that was coming up to the FCS. And like, this is one of those things where it's like, if this was a team coming from the FCS and this was their first 15 years in the FBS, this is a home run. This is a grand slam. This is one heck of a run to start off your FBS tenure. Number one, though, it's just gotta be USC. There's always the conversation in a video like this where, like, what's more impressive, you know, kind of winning like you should, because USC was expected to win, but, you know, they did really well, or like making it happen with less at your disposal. Like Sacramento State really built it from the ground up. Their starting point was way lower, and it's maybe a more impressive job at Sacramento State. So from that perspective, it's like, yeah, Sacramento State was way more impressive, but USC just has the better resume. 168 wins, the most. 6 conference championships, the most. 10 playoff wins, a national championship, a Heisman winner, 12 All-Americans, 8 awards, most 5 stars, most 4 stars, best team in the portal, most draft selections across all 3 days, best defense, which surprisingly, USC's defense kind of goes crazy in this game. Like, I don't know what it is, but, you know, for a team that over the past couple of years and, you know, under Lincoln Riley just can't get a defense for a lot of the time. I mean, from Lincoln Riley's time at Oklahoma till USC when he had Caleb Williams, team couldn't have a defense. When I was tracking it down, there was literally like a 6-year span where they had a top 5 defense 6 years in a row. Like, they were nuts on defense. Like, their offense was fine, and earlier on it was better. I don't know if this is just when Dan Lanning came in, changed everything, and turned this team into a defensive squad, but it was really impressive to see how good their defense became. So let me know how you felt about me doing it like this and giving you guys more stats. And I don't know if I ran through this quick enough or slow enough or whatever it is. Like, let me know how you feel about it, but you can let me know what you guys think of this video and how everything kind of formulated, who won, who was the best team, what team impressed you. And if you want to see something like this again, I was kind of questioning if I should do the states videos again this cycle for college football, because I didn't know how I was really going to be able to differentiate it from the ones last year, and I don't want to just go and run back the same ideas in the same videos forever, because then that'll get stale. But if you guys truly do want to see me, you know, run it back with a lot of the other states, let me know. And, you know, support on the video will definitely let me know, and like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff that really helps me out. And I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll see you guys all in the next one.